marketplace. Remember G2A.com, the best video game store ever!
Are you ready?
As well, and he could very well drop the bomb. Does just that, and he gets the second kill as well. Gabriel putting it back into this round.
Oh my goodness, the energy in here is electric!
The bomb plant not quite going down. Oh my god!
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, TheScoreEsports.com, G2A, NVIDIA, and ESEA.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the, what was it, bear being shot in the mud, I believe it was, or the bog. We'll go with bog, maybe. Who knows? But anyway, it is the ESL Pro League, and it was a bit of a shower of I can't really say it really. I suppose I could. I mean, but anyway, not like you had dropped the F-bombs a few times in your past recently. Please.
Welcome.
NIP versus Virtus Pro. 16-2, the first map, guys. Was not pretty. We're going over to Overpass. Pretty much expecting the same. They are changing servers, so it's that old classic of, guys, it was just the ping. I want to change server. You know, there was a draft hitting me. My hand was cold. Oh, a bit of an achy back.
I wonder actually if the pros, this was because they get these heat warming packs at the tournaments now.
Yeah.
I wonder if they try and have those at home, like if the pros just order boxes of those offline, online.
I assume they just have the heating on.
Yeah, exactly. You could pay your
You don't have
bills.
these giant air conditioning things blowing on you.
You know, there's stories of like teams that used to practice where it's like, okay, one day you have the AC on, one day you have the heat on, one day your chair is like
Is that
3
what
inches too
Fatality
low.
used to do?
That was actually I think that was like Day 9 used to talk about that sort of stuff back when they were
Remember I
practicing
told
for
you
Brood
about
War or something
the
like that.
Immortals team in the
Yeah, there you
Legends?
go.
They do that. They have this crazy situation where because in League they're obviously all sat around in whatever room they've got, and then as just like the Fnatic guys, etc. They're basically, it's like, okay, your game is on now, but it means they're sat around for 2 hours, basically just like waiting. So what they do is to mimic it. They'll sit outside. Do whatever before their normal practice games. So what they'll do is sit there, do nothing for 2 hours, not allowed internet, not allowed anything, just to like basically so they can come into the game and just be 100% focused. Crazy dedication,
I love it.
But I mean, that's a job at the end of the day, you know, and there's a reason they're winning everything at the moment.
I love it. It's super sick. I mean, if we want to hop on that whole bandwagon train that's going on right now with Summit, you know, putting laying down the wisdom there. Where,
but it's actually, you know, you listen to it and it's telling the truth, man.
Well, it's all, none of it is new, right?
Yeah.
None of it is new.
Everybody
He's just
knows.
reiterating everything where it's just like, okay, you kind of have to treat it like in a bit more of a structured way, which is why I think that, you know, we're big fans of like how Astralis are trying to approach it now, where they have like their office and then you go and you actually
have
go
office hours.
You know, you check in, and Pimp as well today actually made a good point where he's starting to say, okay, well, there's actually so many pro teams now who are getting salaries, and this is like these guys, their jobs, they're not working a second job, they're not going to school, their whole job now is to just play CSGO and compete. Why don't we start having practice at 10 a.m. and now, instead of, you know, having to do it all at night, like in the middle of officials and all that sort of stuff? You know, it's like your whole night is always devoured. What if, you know, you practice during the day in the afternoon, because everybody's up anyways, right? You know, like practice during the day in the afternoon, and you could have free evenings sometimes. You know, you don't have official matches.
I mean, we're a long way on from a year ago when you were looking at the NA scene and you're thinking, okay, there's Cloud9, there's there was about 2 or 3 that were like proper professionals. Now there's about 10 professional guys, teams that are fully paid professionals. This is your job.
Well, in Europe, take
Getting out to business
Astralis, for
guys.
example.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Zipnix and Kerrigan were still finishing up their school device as well, just until
it was like
recently.
last October, September
Exactly.
time,
They just graduated. Kerrigan just got his master's, but I mean, like, they were still going into school. Now they're like actually full-time the whole team, right, full time. So yes, so it could be something that could happen in the future. Maybe not just like overnight, but I mean, you have enough top tier teams now where it's like, okay, if you want to set up a practice schedule where we start at like 1 p.m., you know, you wake up, you can still stay up a little late, right? You wake up at like 10, you go to the gym, do whatever, you run some errands, whatever, have your lunch, and then sit down, and then you practice all afternoon, right? Something like that.
That's gonna
and
have
then
to be
you
like
go
a
into your
team-wide thing,
officials.
though.
I mean, maybe that's what we can expect.
It's funny drawing comparisons between how League of Legends was with NA scene, like back at season 2, as in what would that be, 2012, I think, and how NACS is, and they were exactly the same, complete mess of schedules. Nobody would really scrim each other. Nobody liked each other. Nobody got on, so they didn't want to practice against each other.
Changed,
and it's just like, it hasn't changed, but at the end of the day, they've basically said, we got to practice together. We're not going to improve as a country, as a nation, everybody involved in this league is not going to level up without everybody practicing against each other. And it seems that America is a bit of a strange one, especially when you think of Europe. You know, so many problems that we could have here. Like, everybody speaks a different language, yet everybody manages to get on and practice, and it's crazy.
I have even more respect for the LoL pros, considering the fact that, like, CSGO, Dota 2, we have, like, sandbox modes, reviews.
Yeah.
You can demo review. You can do there's all sorts of tools in the game that
goddamn
allows you.
replay mode,
There's so many tools now in like these Valve games that allow, and in like StarCraft 2, Blizzard, etc. Right? You can review demos. You can go back and like watch frame for frame.
Basically
You can do
every
all sorts of
game.
stuff like that.
For League
And
of
then
Legends.
LoL, it's like these guys are working, 12 hours a day, but it's just like they're doing it with, like, I guess they have to go and VOD review. They have to watch the
VOD reviews,
tournament VOD.
which is horrific.
Which is like, okay, well, what did he buy at this
You're
time?
only
I don't
watching
know.
the perspective of whatever the camera
of the
shows
observer,
you.
instead of being able to hop around. Like Pronax, literally, he was telling me he used to have like he has a special config for.
Like, how did that
demo
play get here?
reviewing. No, it's just like he just has like all of his keybinds and everything, so you can just like bounce between rounds and just check exactly what he wants really quick, boom, boom, boom. So he'll go through a demo in like 10 minutes, but he's only looking for like specific things, right? And so he has this whole setup just for that. And it's like, poor LoL guys, it's like they have to go and, okay, Twitch, it's a 6-hour VOD. When did the match start?
Where
Okay.
is it?
Then we got to go through the pick ban. Okay, now, oh man, nightmare.
Horrific.
Yeah.
And it's I mean, especially when you think of, say, in Counter-Strike, the amount of times that you get those clutch moments, you see those players do those big clutch plays. It's not a miracle, it's simply knowing your opponent, knowing their style of play, obviously the game sense as well, but knowing if they're in this position, they normally go to here. Okay, I can pre-aim that, prejudge it.
It's kind of like deathmatch, I guess, but like Sing Sing used to do this crazy stuff where he would, in order to practice last hitting in mid, he would literally just spawn a bot that would he would just like go into mid lane, not have any items, and literally just sit in mid lane and get last hits.
That's the
last hits. It's like DM, I guess, but
yeah, Techie's challenge. Basically, you sit for 10 minutes in the mid lane and see how many last hits you got.
yeah, there you go. It's stuff like that where it's just like you're just gonna practice with different heroes, Shadow Fiend, whatever. Like he used to do a lot of Shadow Fiend, and he just like practice. I mean, that's a lot like DM, so I mean, okay, but
Hey, practicing your mechanics.
yeah, you're practicing your mechanics, and I guess the main point for some is just like actually you can't get better practice than FPL just because everybody's gonna bang your head off if you're not on point with your aim, and you're playing against players of similar skill. It's not like matchmaking where people are running around like chickens with their heads cut off. You're actually kind of playing at a similar
Kind
level.
of practicing a little bit.
So I mean, I get the points that someone's trying to make. It's fun. It's just like we still need that level of professionalism. I don't know if we're there quite yet, but we're getting there.
Moving on. Obviously, we are waiting for NIP Virtus Pro guys to get the new server sorted out. They're just joining it at the moment, apparently. Let's just briefly talk about obviously the next game. It is going to be the Frenchies. The French Revolution continues into not really a revolution just yet, just a minor shuffle, but
I don't know. The guillotine is still up in the attic. They haven't unpacked it yet.
well, I mean, the devil is in the detail. For Envious, I did use that one yesterday. We've got a number of them. We could keep going. But yeah, Devil, the new man, joining Envious up against G2. So it's immediately a rival game. If you think back to ESL Barcelona, Envy absolutely were disgusted with G2, the way that turned around, the whole alliance backstabbing. It was a tricky one. So it's one they're going to want to win. That's a lot of pressure on Devil in his first official game. Coming into this one. I mean, if you look at his HLTV rating, he's got a 1.01 rating, so he's not like a superstar guy coming in.
No, but I wouldn't go off of ratings really to judge how effective a player can be in a team, because I think really, if you want to look at that team, it's clear that Devil's the odd one out in terms of just individual skills. So he's going to have to be the guy who basically, not to quote Michael but drops Glocks for his teammates, right? He's going to have to be the guy who does all the dirty work, and he's never going to get any sort of moment to shine. And I think he's okay with it. And I think that's why Envious opted to go with him, because I think you can find more individually skilled players in LDLC White. Even though Devil had a great assembly tournament, he had a pretty good showing at the PGL Minors as well. But I think overall you could find players who are slightly more skilled than him. But he's going to be the guy who just is completely selfless, allows.
You can say it. You can say what you want to say.
No, because simply put, he's basically just going to be the toy for the 4 other NB members.
No. This is what's going to happen, right? This is what's going to happen. So imagine, back in the Royal Navy, right? All of a sudden they became English, they're not French anymore.
No.
So MBK's like Lord
well,
Nelson,
we ruled
right?
The wave,
he's
so,
up on the deck, one arm.
Really ruled.
All of Europe, thanks. Yeah, okay.
For how long did that last?
For a long time, until of course everybody commits the same sin. Why do you invade Russia during the winter? It's such a bad idea. Everybody does it, and well, there you go.
And then also Wellington came along.
NBK. He's like the admiral, right? And basically he's just constantly, he's all about the win. And he's just constantly calling for his cannons to fire, right? And those cannons, obviously, come on, Happy, Apex, Kenny, got a lot of work on their hands, right?
Yeah.
But how does a cannon work? You need powder, right?
Yeah,
otherwise that cannonball's not going to go anywhere. So what is Devil? Devil's a powder monkey. He's those little kids. Those little kids are like 8 years old, and they're going into the bilge of the ship to the powder room, right, where they're constantly running up buckets of powder to these cannons so they can actually work. That's what he is,
you
right?
know what's going to happen when
they died? They died in droves.
Exactly.
They were like little whatever. You just threw them away, but it was fine
That's
because
what
the cannons
MBK's
worked.
going to do, right? As soon as they run out of cannonballs to actually shoot, they're just going to stuff Devil in there.
Exactly. That's what we're saying.
Well,
Devil, he's just gonna
and at that point, it's going to be like, Keo, do you feel better? Are you feeling still hurt?
Well, we'll see, guys. We gotta jump across to the game.
Okay.
That's gonna be Envy. That's coming up after this one. It is gonna be Virtus Pro NIP, and your casters are Pansy and Itty Bitty Moses.
Oh, wow. That has not changed, has it? You are still such a small person. But you could make a lovely cannon monkey, apparently, according to these guys.
Powder monkey, I believe.
Powder
it is,
monkey,
yeah.
that's it. Yeah, true. Sorry, apologies. Okay, right. To be
Just
fair, the analogies
unreal.
have been so good today. We've had the Virtus Pro Bear being kind of put down by the Swedish hunters.
Yeah.
We've now had some naval references coming through. Lord only knows where Seminole will go next, but we are all waiting with bated breath. Anyway, looking at this one, after the first matchup between these two, Moses, I'm not feeling so good about this one.
Yeah, I would like to see NIP actually start on the T side of this one. I really want to see, because I was pretty impressed with NIP's T sides, or maybe not impressed might be the wrong word, but I was like hopeful after seeing them at IEM that their T sides had looked like they've had improvement.
Yeah.
So they obviously didn't get a display one at Cash.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see them start on the T side so we actually get to see some of these rounds, see how they're doing on the offense. Because that defense looks stellar. And actually, the scary thing about this map, too, is that, those rotations that were so on point on Cash for NIP on the defense, they play a huge role on Overpass, whether you can get to those other bomb sites before you get locked out.
Yeah, this is what I'm now looking at as well, because as I said in the last matchup, Gero was the one who said he wanted...
Oh, okay.
There we go, yeah.
I was confused, because Kuban did the knife round. I was confused if he was going to start into the pistol for them as well.
No, not this again. No. The NIP curse of any opponent. Welcome to 4v5.
Yeah, maybe that's the thing. Maybe we're all just, maybe I'm overstating the strategicness of NIP. It's just, they've cast some kind of curse on their opponents.
But yeah, no, this is one of the maps that already Get Right said that they had a lot, not necessarily a lot planned for, but they'd put some work in. They were a little disappointed with their first showing when Threat had done some stuff with them at that point. So they've got a lot to maybe put out to place here, and they've certainly going to have a good opponent maybe to play with at this point, as Virtus Pro seemingly are very malleable right now. They're not exactly kind of putting up much of a fight. So I'm actually, if I'm really honest, I'm just quite sad that we don't get any more analogies and we're just looking at a poor screen.
Yeah, that would. Sebler's been on point.
He has been. He's bringing the A game. I can't wait for Devil to be out there. The puns will be absolutely perfect.
That's gonna be so painful.
It's gonna be so good.
Well,
You're gonna have hell to pay.
He's already used the same pun twice in 2 days.
Yep. There's so many others you could go for. Talk of the Devil, all these. There's so many. I expected more. But I'll be on the desk with him for the next one. So
yeah, I mean,
I'll judge. I will be judge and executioner on that one. Do not worry. But Cuban's still there. He's wanting to come back. I guess it can't get any worse. So why not? Nice shoes. Thank you, Rush. Devil Wears Prada. Ha.
Good God.
Ha. So proud of myself. Rush has got a foot fetish, apparently. That's what we're finding out now. Fantastic. Thank you, Observer Rush. Why are we paused?
Either way, I mean, this is a cool map. Hopefully, NIP, because this is actually a map that's turned out as it's gotten like played more and more. Obviously, it's been out for some time. It's become a pretty popular map. It's actually really fun to watch. One of the more strategic maps, one of the more tactical maps that you can do many different things. So I think this is a map where Thread can actually have a huge impact on how NIP plays it. And I think if they start getting really, really good at this map with his tactical input, this could be a scary map for them moving forward.
Yeah, I'm trying to find out which game it was they were disappointed in, because I can't remember which one it was. I think it was during the Pro League as well for NIP when they played this one last. So I'm trying to work out how much time they've had since then to actually put some work into it.
Well,
I think
probably not much. They had Katowice mixed in there as well.
Yeah, you're not wrong. So I guess it was a Mouse Sports game, maybe. I guess they still won it, but 16-14 is pretty darn close. I guess. Yeah, it must be. Must be. So since then, they've lost out to Na'Vi. Now is it Katowice. Not too surprising, I guess, on that one,
No,
really.
not at all.
Na'Vi is still very, very much up there. However, Mousesports a bit of a close game, considering what happened to Mousesports. Rush, what are you doing?
It's a giraffe. It's like this could have been like really. This is like the next animal that someone's going to put down in some kind of a storytelling.
So you could make something about Astralis. You know, the device always goes on about being like the giraffe, massively long neck
with
in
the
every
long neck.
picture. Yeah. I'd really want it to be wearing like an Astralis T-shirt. Like if Valve could do that for me, I'd really appreciate it.
I mean, I don't want to attack the device giraffe thing.
It's not attacking. I just want it to have a T-shirt in the game. You know. Astralis don't have any things in the map. Like, okay, Rush, I need you to find the Olaf picture. Go. Not the boost. Not that one. There we go. See, Fnatic of themselves like throughout these maps now. It's like they've already got them like stamping their authority on it.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Olaf actually has 2 on this map.
Yeah, there's that one, of course. I can't remember which game it was. I was casting that game, but I don't remember which event it was at. And obviously the please do not climb on the ledge one, as that got added.
That fateful reminder.
And we've seen a lot of boosts actually coming on this map. It's one, I guess it's kind of the new way of, it's not a new way of building maps, but it's a very open map in comparison. A lot of high skyboxes, a lot less clipping throughout the map, so you can see over a lot of surfaces and a lot of see-through walls.
I mean, those triple boosts, those were like really, really cool to watch from Na'Vi against LG. That was sick. Yeah, I mean, this is even a map that, more so than others, perhaps those 2-man boosts even are huge. A lot of fun, a lot of really cool ones that you can do on this map, and those triple boosts that were busted out were just sick.
I just love the idea that it takes quite a bit of time to even consider this, and a lot of just like flying around in servers going, okay, so where can we see from like these certain spots?
Well,
like I actually love the idea of that.
I mean, it was there are commands. I don't know them myself, but I was sitting with the Anders at in Katowice.
Yeah.
There are commands you can put in the console that'll show you like the textures and which textures will like stop you, which you can stand on, which you can't. So like you can just like turn those on and fly around and just see like the colors of the textures and be like, okay, so we can maybe do something with this position and this one as well.
See, I think that's really cool. The thing is that with the classic maps, I kind of wish sometimes that there was like a little bit more openness to the skyboxes. Almost like I like the way the Dust 2 side have like short opened up and long, and like, you can start creating a lot more kind of creative smokes through that. The one I still kind of miss, I think, I don't know if it was in 1.6 actually, but in Source you could easily like smoke over on B, like when you're running from T-spawn, just smoke right over the top basically into the B side, smoke out the platform, like stuff like that. I actually quite like seeing, because you see a lot of the kind of like timing off the back of smokes, how quickly can we smoke, do they get there, and things off the back of that I find actually really interesting, as sad as I am. But to save you guys from listening to my dull topics, we will have a player very soon joining us.
Actually, I mean, we can make a little bit of a history lesson on this.
Okay.
Is that, one of the first times I've ever seen smokes used in that fashion, this is just going to reveal how old I am, is just way back. It was like 2002, I want to say, maybe early 2003, where going into one of the old school CPL events, where at the time those were like the majors, the World Championships. There was like 2 of them per year. And at one of them, it was Team 3D, who was like all the hopes of North America were on their shoulders. They were like the team in North America at the time, and they were favored to do really, really good in the tournament. They faced an Australian team called F-Zero in like a match really, really early on in the tournament. and it was just like this David versus Goliath thing. And it was on Cobble, which was notoriously CT-sided at the time. Like, it was not uncommon. We played like MR12 at the time, so you could actually get like 10-2 halves or 11-1 halves. But this Australian team on their T side did things that no one had seen before, and they had this tactic where they would run out of T spawn and throw smokes over the wall, just like bomb all of them, not even like accurately, not even like whatsoever like lining anything up, just throw them over and they would just land wherever. But like by the time the counter terrorists got to the B bomb site on Cobble, there'd be 5 smokes everywhere.
Yeah.
And like no one had ever seen that before. So you could see like 3D and the servers just running around like idiots. They didn't know what was going on. They didn't know what to do. And actually this random team from Australia just bodied them.
And there was someone actually in one of the recent events doing a similar smoke to that on Cobble T side from, I think it's the stairs, you know, the kind of like small stairs. I don't know where that exactly goes, to be honest. So I think it was Michael Ailey was actually pointing out, like, can we look at it? I actually don't know where it goes. But yeah, I actually kind of love stuff like that. I love the kind of the meta around timing smokes, and like if they put the time in to do that smoke, how quickly can we get there and do anything with it, and then kind of building off the back of it. And then the counter to that is, okay, well, if we cut this area off, where can they hold? What's the next counterplay to it? It's this really nice evolution throughout the game. But we do have players in, and I'm really sad that Rush didn't go to the room with music in it. Rush, go to the room with music in it. Quickly.
Oh, you're just like ordering him around.
T-spawn. I'm surprised he didn't know it. I think it was from Portal, I think. I'm pretty sure it's music from Portal. Left. No, left. In the door. Oh, in there. There we go. All right, we're into the game, though. We are actually live into the pistol. So we'll be Virtus Pro on the T side, NIP on the CT side, and a hell of a lot of utility with Virtus Pro in this one.
Yeah, a lot of it, and all of them towards the B bomb sites. This is going to be some kind of execution. They do have a nade on Neo to work with, but NIP once again is being aggressive. I mean, peeking down through Monster. Pit is just going to keep shoulder peeking that, see if he can find some information. Exist is there as well, and he's got one out in the open. That's Bialy, but a laser beam right to Exist's head drops him very quickly. Now Pit's under so much pressure, they're going to swing wide on him as well.
But Forrest is on the flank here. Keep that in mind. Look at your minimap. He's not too far away. If these two can buy a little bit of time and do a touch of damage, this puts him in a good spot on already. Nice little just one tap comes out from Forrest, but that site is truly dominated by Virtus Pro right now. The bomb is planted, a lovely line of smokes put into place, and Virtus Pro will pick that up pretty convincingly. And actually, although there was, I think, 3 players with utility that time, which is not, I guess, uncommon, but it's a little not as normal, I don't want to put it like that way. Putting them down, created a lovely little line of smoke, and the bomb was theirs pretty much once they took down. I think it was Exist playing close to Monster.
Yeah, Exist, he found a battle out in the open with Bialy. He wins it outright, and then Pit's in such a tough spot. He can't make it back towards water in time. He's playing behind the pillar, and he's just got too many angles to really pay attention to. Forrest did have a nice shot on that flank, but it just gets shut down too much. They have so many bodies, Virtus Pro, to turn around and deal with that. So now a buy up into the second round for NIP. They've got 2 Deagles on Freiburg and Pit. They have no utility, so they're just going to have to win some of these battles, some of these duels with the guns. And Forrest is going to have the scout over towards the long A. This is going to be the first fight, but he misses the shot. And just going to fall away from that.
Okay. All right, Nip, what do you have? I'm kind of curious to see how they go into this one. Virtus Pro for me is anything's a bonus, considering how they're already starting off very well in comparison to their last map against NIP. So this is a great beginning. Pit, I actually always used to rate him as a Deagle player. I haven't seen much of him recently, and he completely messes that up. So that's my fault for even pointing that one out. But in NA, he was actually pretty prolific with it at some point. But everyone's kind of caught up to that now, and Exist going to whack that 5-7 out, crack a couple of shots off, and while this happens, Virtus Pro just kind of plowing through. Freiburg's around the back, but not finding too much there, as the whiffs are real at this point.
Yeah, those Deagles didn't work out the way they wanted. Not whatsoever. And Virtus Pro very, very aggressive, pushing forward whenever they spot a pistol player out, not giving them the time of day to find some angles around the truck, around any of those boxes in the site, just making sure they clean out everything. And there's Forrest. Bialy just does a little bit of a drive-by. Forrest falls very easily to that MAC-10. And now into this round, Virtus Pro can, I mean, it's even going to be safer for him. There's no armor being bought up on the NIP side. Probably not even investing into utility whatsoever.
Okay. Okay.
There's one pop flash from Exist.
Nice.
Anders is happy.
Do you reckon they do it just to stop him from tweeting out things afterwards? Like, I hate these pro teams who don't do this.
Yeah, they're just like, all right, Anders, we get it. Cranky old man. It's going to be a rush towards Monster, and here it comes.
This could be good, actually. All right, maybe Anders was onto something all these years. It catches out too, and it does allow a couple of kills to come in, but not too much.
It was
One
too late.
kill for an investment, maybe?
Yeah, they throw it a little bit late when they're
Yeah.
already out of monsters, so the flashbang actually misses the initial attack from VP. Good idea, doesn't get executed perfectly, so Virtus Pro, I mean, it was an unlikely situation for NIP to be able to win that anyways. And is this a pause? No, it's not.
I don't know, but it's scaring me.
Yeah. Freeze
What?
time is done. We're just going to chill.
The hell? What is this?
What is this? Oh, there we go. Now everything's brought
Go
up.
TV, nice!
Yeah. So we are brought up into the round. No AWPs on the NIP side. Neo has his. And actually, very light on utility is the defense.
All right. Things are going to get interesting here. This should be good. 'Cause we want to see what NIP could do on their T side. We didn't get to see much of it on Cash. If Virtus Pro pick up this gun round, awesome. We actually might get to see a really good portion of it, but looking forward to seeing where Snax puts this one down to. Maybe just going to clear out that close boost corner that can really cause havoc. So nice intuition on that, but not going to be the case. No one there stacked up. Forest was a little push forward, but that's about it. Everyone else on the Virtus Pro side starting their way down long. No one there to challenge at the moment. Of course, no AWP on NIP to play that kind of maybe roll a little earlier on. So this could be maybe quite difficult actually for NIP to hold on to.
Especially if Virtus Pro is allowed to maintain this kind of control of so much of the map. There's only 2 flashbangs on the NIP side. Get Right watching long. He's got one of them and the kit. A lot of it is going to be on Forrest and Freiburg to be able to hold this bathroom play from Virtus Pro, and there's the first kill. That's Freiburg down. Get Right does get 1 kill to trade, but Forrest, they're not going to clear him out. Snax doesn't look whatsoever. A free kill for Forrest. That allows him to stabilize, but Taz quickly finds Get Right, but there's Exist on the rotation already. Down to a 3-on-2 situation. Another free kill goes the way of Neo.
Neo's doing pretty damn good here, and that's even better. Big performance from Neo. Now, Pitt was the other player left for NIP, but he was holding that flank pretty much over by almost T-spawn by this point, so a long way to go. There was 1 kit, I believe, on Get Right, and if these two exit together, please not again. Please hold the bomb site, because I can't deal with another phase moment. But this should be fine. Neo's still watching this. And I'm not right enough, but
You're so nervous about
I
this.
am, because 1v5 diffusion happened, but at least Neo will not do that to me. Thank you, Lord Neo, for blessing me with you to pick up that AWP kill. But yeah, nice round from Virtus Pro in the end. Neo making a big bit of difference with that AWP finally coming through.
Yeah, this is a good start from Virtus Pro as well. Complete role reversal from Cash, obviously. Up 4-0, they have control of the money, and Neo and just opening up this bomb site, keeping things stable for Virtus Pro into the round. Even gets the bomb planted. So a good round from him with that AWP. Once again, NIP is going to be back onto, I mean, just a little bit of an investment, about $2,000 of an investment. Upgraded some pistols. Get Right's got light armor, but there's no pop flash, nothing really to speak of. So once again, with these pistols, just going to have to win some of these early battles and find a way to peel Virtus Pro apart as the round goes on. Freiburg going to be the first one with some action. There's Pasha. They get into this fight, but no shots landed. 1 shot landed by Freiburg, but Taz also takes down Forrest, so should be easy to maintain now for Virtus Pro.
Yeah, Virtus Pro just playing as a pack at the moment. The Polar Bear has made it out of the swamp, started to trundle forward at the moment with 4 rounds to their name, more than they've got in the previous map. So certainly a good beginning, utilizing everything they had in their arsenal in the way of utility. Gonna just cut off the 2 approaches, or at least angles they could be peeked from. One's gonna be planted, and they shouldn't lose players at this point. They're in really good spots. Taz just throwing it down for the sake of it at this point. And there we go. So this should be another round on the board, but it's all about, can there be any more damage done by NIP?
Doesn't look likely. I mean, the big thing, too, is that Virtus Pro, they have Snax, Pasha, and Neo all the way pushed back, so there's a good line of retreat. Get Right does get 1 kill, and they almost find Bialy. But there was plenty of opportunity for Virtus Pro to be able to fall away from that bomb safely. They had the line of retreat. Now the switch up. NIP with a full losing bonus going their way. They had to switch into the double up setup. Forrest has 1, Pitt has the other.
And Pitt has actually started to AWP a lot more.
Yeah, we saw it on train yesterday.
Yeah, we did. And I thought maybe it was because it was a 4v5, or maybe because the game was won. But if he actually starts playing the supportive AWPing role, this could be actually quite interesting to watch. But anyway, Forrest is the main man with this. And this is a bit of a different pace as well from Virtus Pro. Not just heading straight over towards A, taking control of long. They're going to posture themselves somewhere else, but already Neo's found the first AWP and taken that out of Pitt's hands.
Yeah, that's tough to deal with as well. Huge investment into a double up setup, and it's already been taken out. Even Neo shooting the gun one more time to prevent anyone from possibly trying to recover it. Now Virtus.pro with that kill over towards the B bomb site, you can see the team is taking complete control of sewers. NIP's response to this, have Freiburg and Forest continue to be aggressive out towards long A. They could have a huge flank if they keep pushing forward, but Pasha's watching it. And he's the one who's going to be able to tell them, all right, they're pushing up here. There's at least 2 members, and this is going to be a battle. Forest with the AWP does win that out. Long range, a lot of distance for Pasha to cover, and it's the AWP that wins it.
This is the thing, Virtus.pro are actually en route as well. byali and Neo were bringing the bomb over towards A, going to try and support Pasha and Pasha to work through, but actually they're going, maybe not a great plan. Let's turn that one around. The T-side does have a lot of flexibility on this map, especially once they get that mid-control, and you're going to see them start trying to use it. Already getting himself set up towards his B hit. GeT_RiGht's got himself kind of down a little bit more by Monster, but keeping his eyes towards Shore. He's the one who's found the AWP and starting to rain havoc with it. That's 2 already. Make it a 3rd. GeT_RiGht, already the killing of Spray, going to be picking up a nice little bit of a performance in the end with the AWP too, as Forest will claim Taz. And well, the double AWP didn't pay off the way I expected, but it certainly did get him around on the board.
Yeah, that's huge. Just, also with losing Pit early on in a 4-on-5, and the good find from Forest, just pushing up and making sure he clears all of his corners. And you're exactly right. That slowed everything down. It looked like Virtus.pro is going to get ready to just hit that B bomb site with that advantage. But too much time passes and Pasha falls, and then it's just evened out. But now, moving forward, still a double AWP for NIP. They have a FAMAS on Exist, but they have so much utility to work with now. So Virtus.pro, they still have plenty of money built up after this buy. Especially if they're able to get a plant in this round, they're going to be moving forward, sitting really nice in terms of their economy. So NIP's got a couple more rounds to whittle that down before they can feel a little bit better.
See if they can chip away at this. Pit's been liking to be getting pretty aggressive through B if he's had the opportunity, which he's already starting to do. So he's getting good information over on the other side of the map that there's not that many people around here checking down. And now here's the next piece of information flooding through is Forest, spotting down players along. Freiburg was waiting for this. He's been in the bathrooms waiting. There's the perfect flash for it. He's not had the chance to get a shot from. He only gets 1 down, now being pressured. A second flash trying to bail him out of it, but just makes nothing out of the perfect opportunity that was gifted to him. But will they expect GeT_RiGht here? He's gotten pretty aggressive on this. Exist was meant to be the backup, but he's fallen, and they're just losing out on these fights.
Yeah, that is backbreaking. Good idea. Nice pop flash from Forest as well, but Freiburg, that peak, just he can't find the right target to go for it. He has to take a long-range duel, and then GeT_RiGht follows it up with a, oh, nice no-scope from Pit. Still in a 1-on-3, though. There's really not much of a chance to get back into this. In NIP, they had so much relying on that aggression out towards long, and it doesn't pan out for them. That's where they wanted to take the fights. That's where they wanted to get all the kills. And it goes the other way, so Pit's just going to have to fall away. And Virtus.pro, this is backbreaking because they've just reset the money of NIP. All they're going to have into the next round is this AWP of Pit. They might be able to force buy something onto Forest, and the players could buy some upgraded pistols behind this, but the big thing is going to be this AWP if he's even allowed to recover it or to save it in the next round.
Yeah, you got Pasha and byali actually.
Just, taking some love taps. What's up, buddy?
Uh-oh. Well, love taps maybe making it a little bit more difficult. And there we go. Pit will actually keep the AWP, even though against, I guess, the odds at that point. But as I said, what can you do with one singular AWP at this point? And to be fair, I've been thoroughly impressed with Neo already playing well, and byali then. Those two in combination have been absolutely massive. byali finding some really big kills in this one. But then again, on the other side, NIP, I guess if you look at the last round, taking some very unfavorable trades and fights over by long. The pop flash was so well placed for Freiburg, and then just almost too much to pick from. He spotted the player close, then someone out by the tree. He was like, where do I go on this? And by the time he kind of got the target he wanted, the flash wore off and he was kind of screwed. So
that's the thing, it's that hesitation, because even if he gets that long range kill cleanly in 5 bullets or so, if he doesn't have to spray there, he can recover in time to take that close-up battle. But at that point, Virtus.pro had already started swarming over his location. A second flash either from Virtus.pro or NIP, something blinded him and he couldn't convert the second kill. And I'm assuming this is a tactical pause out of NIP?
I don't know anymore, Moses.
Okay.
We can assume a lot of things.
Yeah, I'm going to go with that idea, and maybe it's to come up with some idea on how to play this round, if they're going to force buy into it, or if they're going to put if they're just going to rely on the next round coming in for a win for them. But seeing what they want to do around this AWP, Pit does buy 1 flashbang in this, so at least he has something if he gets into a tough spot. It can help him recover, buy him some time to get back into a new spot. Either way, though, NIP, whether it's this round or the next, they've got to start stringing them together.
Yeah, and what a turnaround already from Virtus.pro. We were discussing the reset. This is certainly a good one coming from map 1 to 2. Treated separately as maps, it's not like a best of 3 series. It is 2 very separate maps, but still, it's good from them. And NIP look a little dumbfounded on this one. You can see they're trying to switch people up, try and play maybe new places, put the pieces in different areas on the chessboard, but At the moment, they literally have been just losing out on trades. They lost the pistol and then couldn't do much damage from then on. The Deagles didn't particularly do much. You saw a big round coming from, I think it was just Get Right pretty much in Forest then with the Orbs after Pit got picked up early by Neo. That's the only one that kind of came onto the board. But beyond that, Virtus Pro have been pretty much just hammering them on the sides. We're going back underway, Moses. Do not fear.
There it is. So, very light investment for NIP. I think it's just Forrest who upgraded his pistol. That's about it. So Pit with this op, he's got to have a lot of work to do with. He's going to go once again for this battle down Monster, and he does win it this time against Neo. The jump.
That's pretty nutty, to be fair. Pit just bangs it out along and gets it. Okay, Forrest. Gonna have a bit of a bad spot on that one. Taz already holding the angle down, maybe expecting someone else to try and work off the back of that pick, but one thing with NiP is they're not giving up any control in mid at this point as well. They still got Freiburg pushed up a little bit closer and Get Right as well, playing towards these kind of spots. Exist got himself in those cheeky little positions. So this isn't actually too bad at all for NIP. If they get a couple more kills, this is actually brilliant for them.
And once again, Pasha, when Virtus Pro sends most of their force towards that B bomb site, it's Pasha who's going to be watching the flank right around Fountain. This time, he doesn't fall, so he has this map control, and he tells his team, you can see all of Virtus Pro is now rotating back towards him. A minute left on the clock. They've got some time to work with. So next up for NIP is going to be Get Right and Freiburg, who are pushed up aggressively in these stairs. And actually, it looks like that's even Exist, who's going to come and try and find one weapon that was dropped, and he does. He gets an AK-47 off of it. And there it is, the aggression. Pasha watches it perfectly, though. 2 kills. He takes some damage. Pit even shoots. That allows Bialy to spray him down through the wall, and it's just down to this one salvaged AK-47.
Exist just going to be holding the push, and Pasha's going to walk right into it. And nicely done by Exist to actually not lose that fight, considering he had no armor. Pasha had a bit of a vertical advantage on that one, but still. Exist will keep hold of that for now, but oh my god, if that nade had bounced properly then, that would have probably been Exist done.
Yeah, that would have been awesome to see. Awesome. Catch a nade. Why not? So now it's Exist turn to try and hang on to this.
Poor Exist.
Hang on to the AWP. And he's got one coming behind him. I'm not sure if he'll be able to do this. He's looking the right way. The no scope doesn't land, though. Close. But Taz finishes him off in the end. And actually, Taz, for a quick second, picks up a second op and realizes they still have one on the board and just want to stick to that one AWP back onto Neo, which has been pretty successful. He's only got 5 kills, but we see that round where he clears out the A bomb site with it basically all by himself. It's Bialy who is, picked it up into this. He's 11-2, which is really, really good to see for Bialy.
Yeah, and this is a very different Virtus Pro. But then again, I feel that NIP aren't giving them much of a fight on this thus far. It's been a little bit here and there. If they get the opening kill, great. Then they suddenly have a bit of a spot in the round. But the kind of more slow approach from Virtus Pro, using Pasha as the kind of rotate spot if required, has been actually really, really good. Pasha been waiting a couple of times, over by A long, just kind of, taking his time on it. As soon as maybe they don't have the entry kills or they don't quite get the information they need towards the other side, hell, they'll just start working around with him. It's actually quite nice from Virtus Pro, and thank you, Rush, for showing me that the Mag 7 is there with Get Right. But the match is paused, so we won't get to see that for a little while.
Yeah, maybe this is the tactical pause of NIP. I don't know what the pause was in the last round, but maybe this is kind of where they're talking things over. Oh, no, this is a pause because Pasha crashed. That's unfortunate.
It is. It is. We pray for Pasha.
Well, I mean, maybe this is like a little bit of a benefit to NIP. They get an extended pause to talk some things over, make sure everything's clear into this round. Because now down 1-7, this is where, once again, their economy is so precarious that losing this, again, they're going to be forced back onto a save or maybe just a small investment. I mean, the losing bonus after they got reset is only at 2 rounds right now, so still not getting the full effect of it. And this is, much like Cash, just the other way at the moment. Just a beat
Do you know what I hate, Moses? Really one-sided games.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't mind them.
Well, it's just
I like seeing Virtus Pro just being able to come to the server and so that's the thing, because we mentioned that after you get slaughtered out of a server the way they did on Cash, it's like easy reset. You can just wipe that out of your mind. You can just be like, all right, nothing was going right. We were losing every battle.
Yep.
Tactically, we got outplayed. The aggression of NIP was unreal. Now let's just forget about it. Let's go have an orange juice or something and come back into the game and just be ready to go.
Did you have orange juices between maps when you played?
No, but it's always like the Pee-wee soccer where you'd have like the orange slices at halftime, help get your energy back up.
Pee-wee soccer.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the most horrific sentence I've heard you say in a while. Yeah. Football would have been fine, I think. That would have sufficed.
Well, real football as we played in America.
Hand egg.
They didn't do orange
Hand
slices.
I want to make a really inappropriate joke. I feel I was like, might get fired for that. So I'm just going to stay in away and just let you take the moment with.
Yeah, don't
real
ride the edge
football.
like that.
Oh, that looks really nice, Rush. That's so pretty. That's so pretty.
Rush, man. It's just unreal.
Draw us a picture, Rush. An appropriate picture. Jesus Christ.
That
What
was
is
really
that?
gross. This
A
is like this is
peach?
an apple, I think.
Orange? Duck.
Snoopy.
Polar bear? Mickey Mouse? What is that? Dinosaur. Dog? That looks like things that nightmares are made of. It looks like Mickey Mouse, to be fair.
This is actually unreal.
Why? Have I not got it right? I said Mickey Mouse. Is that Pluto?
No, you're right.
Oh, it is Mickey Mouse. Oh, okay, I'll probably spell it wrong knowing Rush. Jesus.
Fun game of charades we just played.
That was great. I like the way you took a second before writing mouse. Mouse. Is that your signature, Rush? Nice. Ladies and gentlemen, do make sure you follow our Observer on Twitter at Rushly123456. Yes, that is actually his Twitter handle.
I'll tell this story to the world. I was at the airport with Rush. We took the trip from Katowice over here to Cologne, and we're waiting at the baggage claim to get our bags in Frankfurt before taking the train. And Rush just turns to me and he's like, "Hey, Moses, I'll give you 10 euros if you put your shoe on the baggage claim." I'm like, "Why do you want me to put my shoe on the baggage claim?" He's like, "It'd just be madness if you put it on there and it just went all the way around the baggage claim and came right back to me."
Moses, I can see his face while he's saying this, like fully invested in the idea that it'd be pure magic.
It'd be insane, wouldn't it? And I'm like, "Yes, Rush, that would be insane." To watch my shoe travel in a circle.
See, I'd kind of want to do it with a GoPro, right? Put it on there to see what happens behind the little belt, right?
Yeah.
See some guy there just like going through someone's bag, like throwing stuff around.
Well, that's the best part. He's like, "Well, if someone steals your shoe, I'll give you one of mine, and you can just wear one." I'm like, "I don't want your shoes."
Was this why you were showing us shoes earlier, Rush?
He does seem to
Okay.
have some mad obsession with shoes, doesn't he?
Yeah. Yeah. To be...
Gosh, you're breaking Lauren.
Please stop. don't write help in that. Don't... People find out we've actually just got Rush chained into the observing desk,
Yep.
so he starts writing help on mini-maps.
His hand's
Save me.
he's actually handcuffed to the mouse.
Well, that is absolutely lovely. Ladies and gentlemen, say hi to Rush, please, in chat. Or capital 1, 2, 3, whatever you prefer. Death? Oh, Demon. Oh, that's Lee's screen. Oh. Exceptional. No! No! What are you drawing? Don't giggle. All right, get off the screen. When I actually trust Rush. God.
Just switching between
What is
screens right now.
this?
Why not?
And none are better than the other. Have we got Get Right juggling at least? Can we just watch him juggle?
Yeah, he has.
Oh, for God's sake. Now he stops, just like, no.
It's like a performance anxiety, I think.
There we go. Moses, don't you like pauses?
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to figure out. So Get Right with the shotgun. He's going to. Let's reel it back in.
Really?
No, you don't want to. We don't have to.
All right. No, go ahead.
Well, I'm just assuming
Theorycraft.
Get
All right,
Right with
let's
the shotgun
Theorycraft.
is going to go
Yep.
towards underpass. I mean, that should be relatively obvious.
Yep.
That or play close up on Monster and just hope they come there.
Okay. Oh, God.
Brilliant. But
I'm going to ignore giving that update out to people.
no.
But, yeah, no, okay, so, to be fair, I'm trying to think where Get Right's been playing. He's generally been on A, right?
Mhm.
So, Exist has been playing on B with Pit. What do they have? They're normally bought, so...
It's hard to tell when they're all just throwing their guns in the air. So we can just wait for the round to start when everything's settled down. As
We're getting too rowdy.
We are just waiting for Pasha to get back into the server.
Wee, wee. It's so beautiful. I can't want like some Enya with this or something relaxing. You know what I mean? Don't need you to sing it, D-Man. We can hear you. That's what I surf to normally. Like that is literally my most like happy little
Enya?
moment. Yeah. Yeah, when I get home, put on Enya.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I've never done a surf map in my life. I don't understand the appeal of it. I think it's relatively silly. I know Semler's big on it as
It's
well.
just very soothing, you know? It's just relaxing. Like, you don't play matchmaking, you don't have skins, and you don't surf. You literally have no happiness in your life, do you? you just sit there on ESEA all night, just crying to yourself. Just like, this is my life.
No. I mean, when I actually get to play the game, you know, I play. You know, I've got DM servers, which is more my jam.
You sit on DM?
Yeah.
Do you know what the thing is? When I used to play COD, quote unquote, at a high tier level.
This is where
quote
we're at, huh?
unquote.
In the pause.
Yeah,
This is the stage in the pause where we switched to talking about
I
COD.
refused to DM because it used to get me into really bad habits. Like, the over-aggression, like, you expect peaks that are just, like, completely dumb and will never happen. Like, I refuse to play DM. I play aim maps, but no DM.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I mean, when I say DM, it's like AMAP DMs. So just constant respawning
Okay,
in an AMAP.
okay.
It's not like DMing on Dust 2, which I don't like.
If you go through, like, the normal, like, road of DM, if you just do it through, like, CSGO's, like, putting you into match, it's only Dust 2, I'm pretty sure. It's hell. But we will be getting this one away pretty soon. As you can see, Pasha's back in here, so we can stop talking soon enough. Like, last time I had a pause like this with Alex, I think we started talking about, like, his history in RuneScape and what he got up to, like, some really weird topics. Like,
I was actually watching that broadcast. I remember it.
oh, that's great. I'm glad that I set the bar really high. But Alex is good at filling those sort
Words
of
that have
things.
never been said of you, Pansy.
Wow.
Yeah, you like that? I went there. See, what I'm doing is that's like all the like itsy bitsy Moses jokes, just like all.
Why am I getting the grief though?
I don't know.
I've not even called you short.
They're not in the broadcast. I would have said the same thing if someone was sitting next to me.
I'm done with this kid. I'm absolutely done with this midget. All right, back into the game. 7-1. I'm trying not to snap him, Moses. This is difficult. This is very difficult. But we are back into the game, and we did theorycraft as to where Get Right would go, and here, apparently.
So I mean, just finding like close-up angles where towards short, where that shotgun can actually do the damage.
Short.
I walked right into it. Either way, Virtus Pro, once again, it's that 4-man setup over towards the B bomb site. Pasha is just like lurking around bathrooms right now. Get Right with that shotgun. He's being very mobile. Was down at B earlier to just jump spot towards short. Now he's back at the A bomb site. And at the moment, I mean, Virtus Pro knows they have such a huge advantage in terms of their money, so they know that these nades are going to run low for NIP the later into the round this is. So playing this a little bit slow. Neo has plenty of time to pick in, and Exist is kind of pinned in towards the right side of Monster.
All right, Pasha trying to work his way through the bathrooms. There is 3 players here. Get Right, as you noted earlier, did already pull himself away from B doing that jump spot. Play himself by Bang, which is a little bit, I guess, harder to play. But I guess if he's just going to play it off the back of smokes trying to deny the plant, it could actually work. But the bomb's not here. This is just a bit of a ruse. This is a clever plan to keep these players present. And while that happens, look at this going on at B. Pitts could be the one to try and stop this. And he gets caught out already. Taz runs him over. Bomb is there. Bomb's going to be planted. But Freiburg and Forest did win out over on the A side.
Yeah, small victory there. Now it's just going to be a tough angle to retake. Taz has great positioning, gets that headshot on the Forest. Can't get the second one. Freiburg finds him out, so 1-on-2. He does have a kit. He's got no nades to work with, and he's actually also got the AWP of Neo playing very far back. Bialy in the site completely blinded by that flash from Neo. Molotov is out, but Freiburg beats it. Bialy's ready and waiting. 8th round for Virtus Pro, and it's back onto a save for NIP. They might invest a little bit as this losing bonus builds up. They can recuperate it for free into the next round, but this is crushing from VP.
It really is. This could be a tall task for NIP to do anything here. It's really... I don't know what to say. This is NIP being present one map and then completely not being present in the next. So 8-1 is a devastating scoreline as well. Virtus Pro's T-side is looking pretty robust here. Really nice map control, building off the back of these slow rounds that on occasion they like to play. But here comes a boost. Maybe first time I think we're going to actually see this coming out. I wouldn't be surprised if Taz checks it. He does eventually, but he does take a lot of damage for that. So eventually, that was Get Right picking it up. So Pasha whiffs it a little bit there towards Pit, but this is pretty costly actually. Looking at this one, and look at the annoyance they're causing. Freiburg coming in with a deagle. Now we're down to 2 though. The bomb's in Snax' hands, and Forrest is lurking his way forward, being ever so patient, but he does pull the trigger eventually, and while friberg dies, Neo will eventually find Forrest as well. That was a little bit maybe too close for comfort.
Yeah, but sick cover by Neo there to be prepared with the op out towards short, and then just the pistol whipping the second guy. That was really well done, providing a lot of cover for his teammate trying to plant. So now up 9-1. This is the next buy now for NIP. They have 4 rounds of the losing bonus build up, so they have pretty good money. They have 5 smokes to work with. No Molotovs to speak of, but they do have a couple kits as well behind 5 M4s. friberg, Force, and GetRight playing aggressive, at least initially in bathrooms, to deny this control. And Virtus.pro is heading right towards him.
Yeah. Taz going to be barreling down. And let's see if this pays off. Last time around, friberg did trade out pretty well, I guess. Didn't make as much as he could, but GetRight is going to show him how it's done. Taz already goes down. Flash going to be lined up, catches 2, leaves Pasha with a little bit of a shot to maybe make some damage. Doesn't have any of it. And look at that damage done by GetRight. Perfect play, setting up the rest of NIP to be able to pounce on this. But finally, it seems like they've got an idea of what to do. But there is still Neo. He's still got the AWP. He's got 1 minute and 10 to play with. He's got the bomb. I wonder what he can make out of this one.
Plenty of time to work with, and he seemed like he had a good idea that he was going to be flanked out eventually, and he does. He looks the right way at the right time. Exist falls as he prepared for Pit to be there as well, just hiding behind the rock. Pit's got to find this timing, and it is. It's going to be a free kill. Neo not expecting the second player to come up. Good damage dealt to NIP, though, so regardless of them winning, they still haven't been able to build up a bank. They're going to have to drop over 2 weapons. So the money for all 5 members of NIP is not going to be the strongest. And Virtus.pro with another chance at resetting the economy as soon as the losing bonus builds up. That would be brutal. And that, I mean, that was a fast-paced round for VP, and they don't even slow down to use utility, but Taz was way far ahead of his teammates, and no one was there to kind of follow up on that kill, get the trade. If they were able to do that, that could have been a pretty successful situation for them. But either way, they have the opportunity here to just build up a monster lead into this first half.
And this time, not even considering playing over my A. This is actually going to be a massive presence towards that B site. And already Pit's found 2, pushing himself a little more aggressively towards short. There's the response, though. Bialy breaks back in, swings himself over towards the side, completely blind, though. Leaps into the loving arms of Exist, who'll happily claim what looks like another round on the board here. Unless Neo and Pasha can pull off something very impressive. Now, Pasha did get ahead of where maybe they'd expect, but they check in the end after Neo tries to sneak his way through. And another one found for NIP.
Yeah, and that should... actually, VP can buy another time here. Bialy has 8K. He can drop a couple guns over if they wanted to kind of have some kind of a force buy. Does look like that's going to happen. As Bialy, he at least picks up the AK-47. Maybe he just stays on this. Maybe it's just going to be the one AK-47, some pistols behind it. He's got plenty of money. He buys a smoke up as well. So, Virtus.pro this round, it's all going to be on Bialy. Can he win a battle early on to provide an opening for him? And he's going to try and go through underpass here.
And again, though, friberg, GetRight, and Forrest pushing up quite aggressively towards A-Long as well. You're going to see Pit and Exist working through, trying to get this map control going as quick as possible. Actually put a lot of presence throughout the map. Maybe ignoring the extremities of Long early on and maybe Monster, but there we go. GetRight again kicks things off very well for NIP. Forrest looking for more, but it's Snax to respond. So now suddenly Virtus.pro have the drop on them. Snax is doing the damage, and friberg's now isolated at Long. Taz is already getting away with the bomb. That's going to go down, so it's basically retake now. NIP.
And Taz found the AWP. He picks out friberg trying to fall back from Long to the A bomb site. So this is a tough situation. Both NIP members on this retake, and Snax and Neo are looking this way. They're going to have the intel, but all of Virtus.pro comes forward to chase him. Taz has the AWP, but he's still in sewers. I think Exist obviously knows he's there. And that's a nade kill. But again, massive damage done to the defense. 4th round for NIP either way. They're going to be happy with that. But Virtus.pro, I mean, the economy for NIP is still extremely low.
Yeah, they don't have much to work with, and to be fair, I guess that was not, I think luck may be a strong word, but Exist being able to see Taz as well on the swing out then, he got to see both players who are remaining for Virtus.pro was just good timing to his favor, so I guess that follow-up nade did work out for him, and then Pit could work in as well. But then again, for Virtus.pro, maybe they can switch back to that pace. It was actually working quite nicely, the kind of 4-1 almost presence, maybe like 3-1-1, where Pasha was just kind of on his own, but they've been trying to try new things. I actually really like this lineup, and normally GetRight gets it absolutely perfect as well to go straight in towards Monster. And we are seeing, again, a lot of presence from Virtus.pro and NIP over towards Long. This time, Forrest and friberg taking that route. GetRight towards the bathrooms, and Virtus.pro cautious now. You can see them maybe considering there could be a presence here, a push-up coming out from NIP, and there certainly is.
Yeah, Neo's going to win that battle. Forrest gets blinded, falls back, and re-peeks to take the fight. He gets eliminated. Flashbang streaming to bathroom, but friberg not blinded. SMG doing some work. He's going to try and smoke things off, but Pasha had the angle, so freiburg just barely escapes, and he actually salvages an AK-47, goes through it. Continues forward, and once again, Neo is going to punish another repeat, but there's Get Right. Still so much aggression into bathrooms for NIP, now whittled down to a 3-on-3.
And Get Right's kind of in a bad spot here. He's got himself back pretty well, but Pasha and Neo could have done a lot of damage. That's great, though, for Virtus.pro. Bialy taking down Pit means the retake, and the presence from behind is a little thinner, but Exist taking his time here. Bialy, not so aware, almost adjusts well towards it, but now down to Pasha and Neo. Neo already having a blistering round so far with the AWP. Pasha needs to find a way to help him out on this one. Completely ignores the idea that Get Right could have been there, doubling back on himself now, leaving Neo in a 1v2. Already 2 kills to his name. Can't land that shot on the first. I think that was Exist. And there you go. Get Right closes in and gets the kill, but Virtus.pro suddenly not being as powerful, let's say, and their money's not looking as well, as robust, I guess, at this point. Not going to have that full utility that they previously had to really supplement these rounds, and that little bit of aggression coming through from your kind of your freiburg, your Forest, your Get Right, actually paying off well.
Yeah, it's been doing a lot, and that's kind of the main switch up they've made in this currently this 4-round win streak to head into this last round is aggression. Like you think the aggression towards short, where Pit got 2 kills. Now aggression in bathrooms, aggression's out toward long. NIP just trying to deny map control to Virtus.pro, and they're taking the stand at those locations. Virtus.pro hasn't been able to handle it. Now things slow down a little bit. Force is pushed down into the stairwell. This is looking like it's going to be the default tactic for VP, as Pasha just kind of holding the flank, where 4 members of VP head over towards the B bomb site, and Force is going to open things up with a CZ.
Yeah, Pasha could be big in this round, though. He could be such a pain in the arse here if he plays this right. freiburg and Forest could be very vulnerable, but freiburg is still babysitting Forest, almost trying to keep him safe and sound, but Neo has none of that, takes him down, upgrades to the AWP, and now suddenly these 3 players could maybe find something out of this, but there's still Pit and Exist to go through if they focus towards B. Or pick your poison, freiburg and Get Right over towards A. It looks like they're going to try and get a bit of a beat towards B, though.
I think Pit might have spotted that either way, or not Pit, but I think, well, Pit does grab that kill. Exist, I think, spotted that player out towards short. So now it's left to this AK. There's an AWP on Neo. They can do some work, but they're going to have to hit this quickly before the rotation from Get Right comes in. I don't think Pasha's going to expect this player to the right. Pit remains. 2 kills for him in the round so far, and it's all down to Neo. 4-on-1 situation. He should not be able to win this one. He's going to readjust out towards Monster. This might get him 1 kill, but it's the second he's got to worry about. Takes the shot, gives up his position, tries to switch over to the AK, but can't pick it up. Comes back out with the up, and Exist cleans it out. So 6-9, NIP make a little bit of a comeback there with a 5-round win streak to close things out.
And I guess that time where Pasha, you know, I think he had a bit of a crash, a bit of an internet problem, gave maybe threatened the boys on NIP to discuss how can we change this. We're getting hammered, you know, you saw Pasha always being such a good player over on that T side, pushing up on A, trying to get as much information and map control as possible. After the break, actually, NIP don't really allow that to happen anymore.
Either way, this is going to be a tall task for NIP, switching over to the T side. You know, I said I wanted to see their T side.
Now you've got the perfect time for it.
We'll have to, but here's the big thing. They have to do pretty much the same thing that Virtus.pro did. I mean, that's how Virtus.pro was able. Yeah, well, in terms of, you know, dominating the economy in the early stages of the half, they have to be able to do that. To have this monster T side that Virtus.pro had was off the back of that economic domination early on. Thank you. Thank you.
I just love your look of disappointment. I feel I can get used to that look, you know? But, yeah, as you said, they do have to kind of replicate this. Now, again, though, the one thing, even going back to the first map, NIP never built up that massively strong economy, even when they were trashing, I guess, Virtus.pro, you could say, on cash. It was still a little bit shaky for those first kind of 6-ish rounds. So, as you said, if they do want to get a hold of this, it is about building that up as best they can throughout these early kind of beginnings. But this is a much better display from Virtus.pro. It seems that when they kind of play their basics and the basics go well, they're great. If there's an adaptation to it, they seem to sometimes struggle to find a return or find a rapport to that or find a way to kind of adjust themselves back in. But again, we are down to 4v5. Yay. So Moses, let's talk about your height.
My height.
It seems like the desk I was talking about. I thought I'd just give you a time to talk back.
I don't really get it.
No?
There's nothing too fascinating about 5'9.5".
You add a half to it. That's adorable. You know you're short when you're adding half to things.
5'9.5".
That's cute.
I know you guys over here do it in centimeters or something, so I don't really know what that could be. I don't know.
I only know 5'6", which is what I am, and I'm being ambitious. Round up. But still. End of the day, Pasha has been having a couple of issues with the internet. I'm going to try and get an update from the admin, see what's going on. Yeah, he's just going for a restart, I think, so should be fine. Should be fine. Hopefully he'll be back, because he was actually having a really big play, and then kind of after the, once he disconnected, he looked a little bit tilted almost, or just kind of like a little annoyed by it. Can't really blame him. Always frustrating when you have some internet issues.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was mostly Bialy, and then we also saw Neo having some real success with that op. Those were kind of the two players, Neo with some impact kills, especially with the way they got up to this lead, like I said, by keeping control of the economy early on. It was Neo's that triple or quad kill he had in, like, I think it was like the 4th or 5th round. One of the early buy rounds for NIP that he was able to punish them very much in that 8 bomb site, and they were able to build off that. So big impact from him, despite maybe not putting up massive numbers.
Yeah. Imagine if we had to watch this whole game in third person.
CGS.
CGS, baby.
Are you having flashbacks right now?
Oh man, I'm not sure if this is like a figment of my imagination. If you watched a lot of it or like remember a lot of it, didn't Fatality actually cast a load of CS?
Yeah.
Oh, I do remember that. I thought I made it up, but no.
Nope, that happened. Wasn't just a dream.
Oh, the glorious, glorious CGS days. I don't know how long ago that was now. How long ago
That
was
was, what, 2007, 2008, I believe it was.
Jesus.
Yeah. Come a long way.
Have we, Moses? Have we really? Rush, can you only observe in third person, please?
Let's find out.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
I like how he just nods yes with the mouse. Why not?
Can you go back to the little cupboard with music in it, please, Rush? I'd really like that. Thank you.
Bet he forgot where he was.
We'll just get lit.
Is there actually music in here?
Yeah.
I don't hear it right now.
Can you not hear that?
Nope.
Are you a little bit deaf?
Might be all the music I blast while teaming. Oh yeah, I do have it. It's very faint.
Yeah, it is a bit faint. There you go. Apparently, I think it's from Portal. If someone can confirm that, I'd really, really like that.
Portal's a sweet game.
Yeah. But the thing is, I only ever want to play it when I'm really tired, and then my brain function is very, very minimal, so it never goes very well. Like, every time I'm mildly awake and have time to play games, I'm like, yeah, I'll play some CS, or just like, I don't know, that'll do. And then when I'm tired, it's just, I can't deal with Portal as much as I really want to be able to.
Did you ever play the co-op missions in Portal?
A little bit, yeah.
Those are sweet.
Yeah, Rush can actually speedrun a little bit of Portal very badly.
Rush can?
Yeah.
Huh.
He's got a very set of particular skills. None of them useful to most of his life, but they're there. And I know, and Half-Life.
He's like the anti-Liam Neeson.
Oh, what is he drawing now?
Portals.
Egg.
It's gonna be blue
Moses'
next.
head.
It's gonna be. Oh wow.
Hey, you started to like join on the short thing and gave me grief for no reason. Portal, yeah.
Jesus.
I'd really like if they were exactly the correct colors for Portal as well. If Valve had just gone, let's make it happen. Because they look quite similar, but maybe not exactly. Rush, draw us a picture. Let's play a game. Chat, see if you can keep up. And if it's what I think you're going to draw, don't do that one. Go to the next idea. Okay. Because we're down to 3 players for First Pro now, so... Grass. Cool. I'm not getting it. Any ideas?
Yeah, this is like a river in a field of grass.
Okay, okay.
Someone's been watching Bob Ross on Mondays.
Titanium white.
Tree.
Tree. That looks like a tree to me.
Come on, step up your game, man. This is easy.
It's meant to be like a whole picture, I assume, not just like a field with a river. Rush, have you just drawn a field with a river?
Poor guy's got like 3 colors to work with. Give him a break here.
Now I'm confused. Is that a
Stones?
duck?
Maybe I think it's drawing you drowning helplessly.
That's how I feel when I'm filling with you, Moses. Oh, baby Moses.
Oh, nice.
That's actually pretty decent. That's a really obscure one. Like, I don't want to play charades of Rush. Like, it seems like a really bad idea. Oh god, NIP were down to 4 for a while as well. There's gonna be so much artwork. But yeah, if you guys in chat got that before us, congratulations. You don't get a prize, but well done.
Definitely got it before Pansy.
Can you not? I'm having to deal with you turning up in tracksuit bottoms, just chilling out, like having a great day, and you're giving me grief. I can't handle this.
All about comfort these days.
Do they come in like adult sizes, or do you have to get like the kid size for your height? Rush, you can stop now. He's really getting into this drawings.
Birds, clouds.
This is really nice, yeah. That child looks really unhappy with this whole thing, though.
Now beat the devil out of the brush. There you go.
Nice. Rush, did we get this right at some point? I assume we did. All right. Well, as you've seen, it's gone on really well. We're still currently set at 4 players. I'm going to see if the admins have lied to me. They're not saying much, so we're gonna draw some more. Rush, can you draw me? What should we draw? What should we get drawing off? We can play charades actually if you want. Like we can see like how long we go for.
I'm fine.
No, you can do this. We can be very creative here.
I mean, I've already seen you in action trying to figure out what the blue streak in the field of green is. It was like the most blatant river in the world.
Can you not? Why are you giving me grief on this? I'm trying to be, mountains.
There you go.
Yes. Oh. Why does it turn orange at the end? Okay, now I don't get it. Nope.
Just trying to make snowcaps.
Snowcaps, yeah. Look. Oh, that's quite nice. That's nice. I don't know what this is though. Like I assume just mountains. He's given up. All right, fair enough. But yeah, we can get maybe back on topic. Could we? Should we go back on topic, or should we just like let's keep chilling out?
Sure. What do you want to talk about?
I don't know. Like days like this, I'm just not prepared for. I'm tired, Moses. I'm real tired. All right.
Yeah,
Need a little nap.
these early 4 p.m. start times have a rough life.
It is. I don't know how I cope. How's your German coming along?
I don't need to know German. How's yours coming along? You're the one who lives here.
Scheisse. That well. But we do have Pasha back with us, so hopefully he can save us from having to talk even more. But then again, who knows? Oh, Rush is drawing again.
Balloon.
Balloon. Yay, look at that. He's done the balloon. Shading. Ooh, that's nice. I feel like this is just therapy for Rush by this point after being like around us for a couple of weeks. It's just he needs some therapy classes just to calm himself down after a little while. But guys, if you are wondering who is our observer, it is Rushly123456. Go give him some grief on Twitter.
It's the same kind of combination I have in my luggage. Spaceballs reference? You got nothing? Really?
No.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Just get out of here, Lauren. I'll finish it on my own. Well, we do have 10 on the server. That's good progress being made currently.
And there we go. We are.
Is Rush going to count for us? All right, here we are. Back in action.
Finally, after what seemed like a very long time. Rush, you don't have to count for us. We know there is 10 people in the server. Thank you very much. Jesus Christ, he's still doing it. All right, CT side now for Virtus Pro. T side for I can't speak now. NIP, considering you want to see their T side, this is the perfect opportunity to see what they've got building up on this one at the moment. It looks like an all-in play. Oh, the boosty boost.
Clever. But this also gives the bomb site up completely if they hit it. I mean, Bialy, that's a lot of faith in him to be able to hit some shots. Because there's a lot of ground to be covered in that B bomb site if Bialy can't do it from range. And even if they don't come out towards long, if they come short instead, it's going to be pretty difficult for him to pick that off. So NIP, it's all on when they decide to go. Smoke is going to be lined up for balcony. Flashes are going to rain over. If either one of these hits Bialy, that's going to be the opportunity they need. And actually it misses. You can see Bialy transfer, but still can't land any of the shots. Only one member from NIP actually committing to the site, though. At Freiburg, he's ready for it. Swings out. They did spot him. Bialy gets punished.
Great adjustment there from NIP. Already considering this being an option, but this is retake time for Virtus Pro. If you're going to take that stance, you better be considering the fact you might have to retake this at some point. So here we go. Virtus Pro going to leap themselves into this, and Snack's already getting things going for them. Freiburg falls, and now 3 players making their way through the side. Make it 4, but Forrest doesn't care. He lines them up, knocks them down, and hell, he's got some more targets to find. Him and Exist going to town, and a beautiful display from Forrest. 3 kills, a bomb plant, only losing Freiburg. And Virtus.pro, although, came with a little bit of, I guess, creativity with the boost, you saw the downside to it, and certainly so did they.
Well, you can see it's not a bad idea because they did have the smoke in the kit for the defuse to just drop it on the bomb, but, I mean, you can't account for force at all times to just crush everyone. That was really sick stuff. So investment into the second round for Virtus.pro. They do buy up armor, upgraded pistol. They have a good amount of nades as well. They have 2 smokes, 2 flashes, and an HE grenade. They're going to push up towards mid. 4 members here. They've denied control of fountains from NIP. NIP's got to be careful too. The bomb
is awesome.
is on top of the ladder. They cannot lose this, but it's a good choke point for Exist. He gets the first kill. Now it's Bialy's turn. Exist gets that one with the help of Forest. So they've stabilized.
I actually really like that, though, from Virtus.pro. If only they'd hit a couple of shots there, that could have been really dangerous times for NIP, considering they went on that 4-rifle purchase. Pitt does have the SMG, but he was nowhere near really to do much as Exist on the forefront there.
It's fine. If Sadakist was here, Sadakist is the kind of guy who's like this huge, he was this huge Astralis fan. Or like when they were TSM, he was like the huge fan of TSM. So he'd be like, oh man, they just used the same tactic that TSM used at the Face It opening season, where they in the finals against Fnatic, they just rush mid with pistols to win the match. He'd be going on and on about that.
Well, thank you for playing the Sadakist role.
Yeah.
I hope you can fulfill what Matt brings to broadcasts beyond this as well. We'll get you set up with some premium Tinder and leave you to it while you're casting. Pitt has at least kind of turned everything back into the favor of NIP after things got a little bit close after what seemingly was, that patented TSM play, as Matt would say. Did get halted. And there we go. NIP will keep this one pretty clean. Good for Pitt to pick up 2 then. Get the bank building a little more in his favor. But Virtus.pro certainly not just sitting back here and taking it. They were bringing a little bit more fire to this one, but now
pushing forward and taking it instead.
Yep.
So now it's going to be 9-8 for Virtus.pro. It's a good start for NIP, obviously. 4 AKs on the board. And they're going to send 3 members out towards Fountain again. This time, no aggression from VP. They have a B stat going on. All 5 members look like are over there, actually, waiting for some kind of fast play out of NIP. The question is, are they going to stick with this stack, or are they going to rotate back towards the A-bomb site when they feel no pressure? NIP is actually still being very, very passive. Maybe it's the aggression of that last round. They're just like, all right, if Virtus.pro is willing to do that, we'll at least investigate for a little bit into this.
I guess it's worthwhile. You lose a little bit of time, but you can just send Pitt off to just kind of play recon and just flood around this map. But yeah, NIP going to be taking their control towards long. You got Pitt working his way through by the bathrooms, Freiburg, and GetRight slowly build themselves up to where these guys clear. And as you said, it's about Virtus.pro. Do they stick it out on B? Do they think, okay, if we just wait here, we'll see how it goes? Or do they start filtering their way through towards A, probably a little later than they'd want to actually make much of these pistols?
NIP has still found nobody, and they're still being very, very patient. 50 seconds left on the clock. Slowly just working their way at bathrooms. You can basically draw a line where NIP is they're very coordinated with GetRight and Exist being pretty much in line on the map. Just both parties pinching into this A-bomb site. Molotovs come out, smoking the choke points. They're about to find out this is going to be a very easy plant. Now it's all about establishing an escape route, making sure you're not being flanked out, making sure you have everything covered for the Virtus.pro stack that was at the B-bomb site. Either way, they shouldn't take too much damage. The question is, are they going to send Pitt on the hunt? He does have the SMG, so if he can find some bonus money, I imagine he's going to start investigating and see where they're at.
Well, he's already on 3.8, as we are, so if he builds up any more, that's great. If not, oh well, he can always buy back into the next round. So Pitt's going to be the one to, if anyone, to go hunting here and stay close to the site. I guess after what happened with FaZe, why not? Keeps on a little bit closer, but everyone else working their way through. And actually, Virtus.pro not getting even close to this.
Well, maybe they're in this situation where they want to give up that bonus money, and they're not. Pitt can't land the shots. Deals a lot of damage. Pasha does die to the bomb. Either way, 9-9. Virtus.pro has an SMG into this round, which I doubt they're going to utilize. But now it comes the big thing for NIP. Can they stop this here? Can they win this round, force Virtus.pro to do another save, grab control of the match, and try and run away with it on the T side, or is Virtus.pro going to stop them here? Actually, they do keep the SMG. Snacks has that. So interesting. He's still got 2K in the bank as well, so saves a bit of money as well as being able to have all the utilities, although he doesn't buy a kit. $2,000. He's got all the nades, but he has no kit.
I think there's a phrase that goes along with that, but Taz is going to get the drop. Doesn't matter if he had the drop, he didn't get the shot, so GetRight will get that, and he can't quite transfer it towards the second. Bialy will at least trade it out, but that's the important one. Somehow finding Freiburg then. Bialy, welcome back to CSGO, my friend. It's been a while since we've seen this sort of presence in these sort of gun rounds. Now, NIP operating a big deficit, and Neo's already going looking. He's going to get himself walking through towards B. He's over by T-spawn almost now, so going to get a great idea that, okay, they're not coming this way. You got byali holding kind of by mid, by that underpass area. You got Pasha and Snax just playing off each other on long. This is actually a nice little combo, but don't know how much damage that SMG is going to do at this point.
Yeah, VP has everything covered, and they're even able to have a quick rotate with byali towards either bomb site. And actually, Pasha is going to get the first glimpse. Snax, is he going to spot him on top? No. Oh, he saves his life. Pasha gets saved. Snax gets taken out immediately after, and then there goes Pasha down to a 2-on-2. That's a brutal exchange for Virtus Pro, who had a big advantage into this, but they trade 2 for 1. And now byali's pushed up, and Neo is even on a big flank out towards long, and he might just end their dreams here. Does he spot them? I don't know if he did. He did not, and byali's not aware of it either, although now he hears the footsteps. Goes for this fight, takes the duel. They line up for him, but he gets traded off. Forrest finds that, and now he's basically, 15 seconds left. He's got to sprint to the B bomb site. He's basically just got to assume that there's no one here. Just hope and pray and get this bomb planted.
And Neo's taking the same route, so he's going to get maybe a glimpse onto Forrest if he went instantly for it, but you'd have heard the steps. So now Neo's going to take his time instead. Play for the retake. And Forrest looking actually towards short here. Neo, if he doesn't get that first glimpse, he's going to be done for. He does it just so well. And again, Neo doing exactly what's needed. He took that 1v1 against GeT_RiGhT previously, and it was Neo who won that. Out as well. So this guy keeping up with the clutch work, but again, these very close rounds, you got to feel for Pasha there. He had the drop on long a little bit with the SMG, but he's operating with a ridiculous ping at the moment. It's around 150, so clearly having where basically Pasha's playing.
They're going to have to, Freiburg's going to have to get out of there at some point, because the bomb is actually dropped above ladder. A minute left, so it's either going to have to be Freiburg who grabs it or Forrest, as you can see now, rotating back towards to pick it up. He's at least gotten 2 members, Pit and Exist, into bathrooms from long, so they can start clearing that out while Forrest takes his time to get this bomb. But where does NIP go from here?
We'll find out pretty soon. Neo does get smoked out eventually. That was a long play between those two. But Pit and Exist have been building themselves up towards A. You've got Snax and Taz there. Pasha going walkabouts, but a comfy pickup then for Forrest. Gonna make very light work of him.
That's a kill it's not needed to give up. Pasha gets caught out in the open, so back down to a 4-on-4.
Bit of a shame, maybe frustrated with current circumstances, but 4 players now packed up from NIP, looking to hit this A site. They've got 20 seconds, there's nowhere else to go. Smokes are going to come in, they've got flashes, they've got mollies, but then there's Taz. Taz is getting burned alive. He needs to swing out on this one, and he's going to get picked up. Traded out eventually, though. Snax responds towards Pit, but 10 seconds, they find Snax again, and NIP bringing this down to the last couple of seconds. Now byali can't stop the plant. He has to play for the retake.
I think he's been spotted out as well by Exist. Saw him under the cover of that smoke, so you can see Freiburg peering this way on top of the bomb boxes. byali not going to be ready for it. Freiburg takes him out, so NIP resets the money of Virtus Pro in a very important round for them, where they just beaten him up the round. They lost the round before, but gotten it down to just Neo, so no buy coming out for Virtus Pro here. They might invest a little bit, but they're essentially crippled. byali and Pasha, that's like the full reset, down to around 1,400. So a little bit brutal for them. So NIP now gives themselves a chance in this T-half.
So, Virtus Pro, I'm hoping they keep this up, because they did have such a good half. We're starting to see, though, what NIP are bringing on this T side, which is some real patience to their play, which maybe we didn't see before. And the slower approach actually working off very well. Virtus Pro, of course, not being helped out by Pasha being maybe a little flustered, a little frustrated, and making moves and kind of giving up frags where didn't really need to. But again, this is a round that should be on the board for NIP, so you'd be looking at an 11-10 scoreline. And NIP just can use these mollies to clear out corners. They can take their time as much as they want here. They have all the utility to work with. And again, a very passive approach. I guess after that 1 or 2 rounds where we saw a bit of aggression from Virtus.pro, they're kind of keeping in mind that this could be a possibility, but it looks like we're seeing a bit of a late in the game stack coming out from Virtus.pro, maybe just playing as a pack.
Yeah, last time I stacked over, this is the thing, just sticking together, see if they can get any trades to go in their favor, somehow get a little bit lucky with some of the weaponry. They do have some upgraded P250s and nade on Snacks as well, so just hoping they can catch a couple NIP members off guard. Maybe they can find this pocket of 2 members of NIP, get their guns, salvage them, see if they can make anything from it. They're going to get aggressive. GeT_RiGht's going to be the first to spot him. That's traded off, but there's Pit. 3 quick kills from him, and friberg wrapping around finds Taz. So Virtus.pro found what they wanted, but it gets slaughtered.
It's still not a massive amount of money either. The most they have is, what, 4.1? I think that was on Taz as well. So this is really quite a slog. They do have the nades coming up, so we've seen them doing this a fair bit, kind of just like hitting that one spot with all the nades after they get a touch of information. And I guess why not go for it at this point? They're not going to get much more. So Neo going to line up the smoke. That's going to put itself down, I think, just kind of where the T's start to break through. So maybe this nade could do a lot more damage than expected. But then again, you're seeing maybe NIP considering this as an option. Look at them backing away from this already, saying, screw this, I'm not playing that game. I don't want to go near that point.
Well, that smoke is used for Virtus.pro to allow the cover for them to get the angle to throw those nades into that choke point, but it also lets NIP know that something's
We're
coming.
on the way.
Yeah, it's like, all right, be wary. That's an awkward smoke to run into as a terrorist, so you're just like, all right. VP is about to get a little bit creative here. Actually, a dink comes out. That's on to exist, and Neo can't find it, but he has delayed the plant, and he does find that eventually through the smoke. It's a good advantage now for VP, but GeT_RiGht had already put himself in advanced position, and that's like the tiniest of flanks, but it's GeT_RiGht, so of course it works out. A couple kills go his way, although Virtus.pro is still doing some damage. Not able to salvage any of these AK-47s. Doesn't look like they'll be able to either, as friberg finishes off the last 2.
And it's a bit of a shame the Virtus.pro is starting to get a little bit outrun here, but good read, though, from NIP, I guess, if you want to look at the opposite side of the coin. As soon as that smoke came down, as you said, the one that was invested into by Virtus.pro, excluding the 5 nades they went for as well, instantly hit the brakes, having none of what the Virtus.pro was selling. And Taz, all right, as said, what is this coming out to play? With an AWP as well?
Yeah. Taz has had enough. Auto Sniper, see what he can do with it. Pasha's going to be jumping up. It looks like they almost want to go for a little bit of a boost, but actually Neo, that took a little bit long for both of them to get up, so the rifle is just going to watch his back. Neo going through this pick and mid, and he does find it, but there's his backup. Pasha falls. And now Snacks takes his place. One more from Neo. He takes the shot, misses it. Does find the second, and actually that aggression from Virtus.pro works perfectly.
And to be fair, just using Pasha as a meat shield at this point, 150 ping is not going to do you much good here. So I guess he's the alarm system. He's like, okay, you put yourself here, and if you die, I think they might be coming. So I'll just keep you there and see how this goes. It actually does work out pretty well in the end. It allows Neo to get those 2 kills. And they're still not really seen much from the auto sniper from Taz as well. But the last 2 remaining players for NIP are going to just turn their eyes towards the B site. And actually, with a great deal of utility, they bullied their way in towards this one, smoking it out. But a comfy pickup there for byali. Fine, GeT_RiGht on the swing out. Now it's down to friberg. Bomb is planted. 1v4 time. He's got Snacks. He's got byali. All right, 2 more to go. Not going to get it done. There we go. The auto sniper just ruins all the hope and joy I had of that maybe working out.
I mean, friberg very nearly got that shot on the Taz from far away, and if that had happened, brings it into a 1-on-1, and that is such an awkward situation for Neo. Either way, Taz does clear it out, and more importantly, that auto sniper, that AWP, such an expensive investment into this round for Virtus.pro, so they get to keep those moving forward. They're going to have to drop weapons over to their teammates. 3 kills means they still can't build up their bank behind that victory. They'll get a little bit from it, but NIP still has plenty of money to toy with on their side. friberg has 8,400. Everyone else has enough money to buy their own guns into the next round. So NIP still looking good, but they've got to find some way around this auto sniper. And Pasha,
Aww.
I mean, this is the thing. With that ping, like you said, he's going to be a little bit of a bank. So he's going to be the one that, gets the bonus money from the SMG. It's cheaper weaponry as well. And maybe in the future, you're able to drop an M4 over to your teammates since they're going to be a little bit more productive with it.
I feel really bad, though, because he's turned into like a walking meat shield piggy bank.
This is Counter-Strike Lauren, have no mercy. Just like Forrest with that headshot onto byali. Snacks now on the rotate. Oh, Neo's bailing him out, though. Couple op shots here from the old legend. There's friberg. Swings around wide, cleans things out.
Old legend. He's not even that old. Taz, on the other hand, now, let's see what this mature player can achieve. But yeah, down to this 2-player retake. Pasha being one of them actually finds a kill with the SMG. That's so dirty. Able to just like sneak his way on the site now, down to a 2v2. He's upgraded to the AK, but you know, you can only do so much. But he does find out where Exist was playing. No kit on Taz though. This could suddenly mean Exist just needs to be patient. And exactly what he is doing now, playing with pure patience. Exist should hear that, and Taz gets a beautiful shot off, but he can't find a kit. It's time to back away. And Taz did do some great work then, but sadly to no real avail.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. And I did check just to make sure I did not have enough money to buy a kit, so it's not because he just forgot. But buying up some utility, put him too low. So NIP, once again, they make sure Virtus.pro cannot win 2 rounds straight in this half.
Look at Neo go.
Yeah, he's having himself a very good game. So is Bialy, as we've mentioned a couple times, with 20 kills. So not too far behind, but only 1 kill behind. So, but I mean, here we are into this round. Taz doesn't even have enough time to turn around and either pick up the AWP or pick up the auto sniper. He's stuck on the AK-47. He's the one who's got to find something for his team, and he's actually pushed up towards the stairs. Pasha's going to be pushing long as well. He's in the open though, and Pit is going to find that one, or Exist rather, with the help of Pit. And now NIP has really, really good control of this map. They've gained control of mid. There is one more member still in bathrooms. It's going to be Bialy, but there's the AK-47. Taz is out of the fight. Another teammate, Snacks, around in the corner. Get Right. I mean, look at this awareness, just being very patient, but Snacks still grabs it. Now Get Right can just fall away, finds one more above. Prepared for that as well, of course.
But would he? Okay, just Get Right. Like, does he expect the one player who's been waiting for this? Like, there's still Snacks down there. He's the one who got the rifle, not Neo, in the end, and he was just being so patient. But look at Get Right. He's still expecting maybe there to be a play here. He's so cautious. Bomb's going to go down, so you've got 5 players alive, barely scathed. They've got the AK though. That's one, a bit of saving grace there for Virtus.pro, and it's a matter of can they utilize it in any way, shape, or form to carve out some sort of benefit from this round, because so far it's been a bit of a loss, right? They haven't been able to do much damage, they haven't been able to get much presence, but there could be a possible trap waiting here by the swings. And that would be Snacks waiting with the AK. Needs to land these shots cleanly. He can't really take much of a trade here, considering he has no armor, so he does do a little bit of work. Swiftly tries to avoid one. Pit's going to try and run the gauntlet, and he's going to get that one. Any extended fight was never going to go Snacks' way, so eventually found, put down by Pit, but there we have it. 11-14 now. Money's still pretty sparse with Virtus.pro. You know, they've got enough to buy up, but not much to support it.
Yeah, not too much behind it. I mean, the big thing is, you know, Pasha's able, because he goes for the SMG, he's able to get a smoke and a Molotov, which is going to help out. Bialy only has a Molotov. But yeah, Virtus.pro has to buy into this round. They don't want to play for overtime. They want to find some way to win this, but with an SMG and a Scout, they're at a big disadvantage. And Neo, actually, with that Scout, is going to be pretty aggressive. He's out towards tree at long. Just going to fall away with it, though, and he's backed up by Pasha, who has the high ping and the SMG to work with. So NIP, big advantage here, and they're just being passive, waiting for any kind of creative, aggressive play out of Virtus.pro.
And why not? They've still got a minute on the board to play with. They've barely utilized any of their smokes or flashes to try and carve away some of what Virtus.pro were building into. But there's going to be a couple of seconds before they actually make much of a move out of this, and Snacks has a lovely little angle then, and makes it even better finding Pit and Exist. There's 2 guns that you can definitely upgrade now. Wonder if Neo or Pasha would dare to go to it, but Freiburg instantly goes into recovery mode, trying to make sure no one's going for those guns. Forest collects said bomb, and now with a minute left, time's not looking so great, and they actually do need to start working into this one.
Yeah, Freiburg is going to be the first one to enter in, and I don't think Pasha saw him. Freiburg working his way up is going to get that kill. Now it's Neo's turn to swing out. Does land a shot with the Scout, but he falls, so it's brought down into a 3-on-3 situation. No utility left on the Virtus.pro side, and look at the nades that NIP has. 3 Molotovs, 3 smokes, and a bunch of flashbangs.
And if they use one of those to clear out Snacks, you got to feel for them here, because he's in a position where he could still do damage, but let's see. Molly's going to go over towards the truck.
Oh,
I think one went into, there you go, that's it. Get Right's crossed over and did find him in the end. I thought there may have been a bit of hope after seeing Forrest commit his towards the side itself, but now Taz does manage to avoid the fire and flames, and he does go for a bit of a spray down, but Freiburg is the only man to fall to his hands. It's down to just Bialy. 1v2, and Forrest just spotted him out, but Bialy doesn't care, but he can't get the swing up in the end towards Get Right, who will keep this round safe and secure for the Ninjas. And there we have it. This could be all she wrote, as that money again, not great here.
No, not at all, especially after that. And it's just been the fact that Virtus Pro, whatever it might be, not able to string 2 rounds together. And even the 2 rounds that they won were pretty close. I mean, the first time they won a round, they only had 1 player survive. Second time was only 2 players surviving. So even off the wins, they've never been able to really stabilize their money. Now here's some desperation. Scout on Neo, goes up towards Party, takes a shot, can't land it, now has to fall away. Quickly, Virtus Pro is going to run out of smokes and Molotovs. Oh, what a shot, though. Neo gives him a chance here.
He is fighting as hard as he can, Neo, to be fair. It's like you've got to make up for the fact that Pasha is very much out of this game to a large extent. So Neo's like, okay, I'll play for 2 of us, don't worry.
We've started to see this more and more lately, though. Like, Neo has slowly gotten into this form that's really cool to see, and he's been starting to, with the confidence that it's given him, he's been getting much, much more aggressive with his playstyle.
Yeah, and Neo's absolutely sick when he gets like this. He can't get too much done, but he still did a fair bit of impact, as much as he could be expected to. But again, as you said, this is starting to become a bit of a dangerous Neo. It's like but the problem is that no one else from First Pro is having consistency in their games at the moment. Snack's going to try and find something, but Pasha's the one who's kind of been laid down as the bait, the trap. See what he can get from this. A bit of a one and done, but if he even gets that, that's going to be pretty good here. But Forest finding Snacks quite comfortably with the AWP means that pretty much A is ready and ripe for the taking, as that SMG has just been walked past.
And he's not even moving one bit, so might, now that he hears the footsteps, that kill from Freiburg, and now Pasha's going to make his move, and essentially Bialy, he's on a longer rotate, so it's got to be on Pasha to at least delay this. He does find the planter, can't land the shots though, and there's Get Right to take him out. So this is going to be a 16-11 win. Twice in a row, NIP takes him out. Twice in a row, NIP goes 2-0 on the evening.
And I hate to say it, at the start of this game, I would have said that was First Pros. And I would have said it after the half as well. They just were actually outplaying NIP to quite a large extent. NIP looked a little bit lost. They didn't quite have what made them look great on the first map. But then again, you know, it is what it is. It's online matches. Sadly for Pasha, it didn't seem to translate very well once they lost out on him. They never seemed to get rolling in that second half.
Yeah, and that was once again like a very slow-paced tactical T-side out of NIP, where they kind of just like, it's like watching them strangle the life out of their opponent, where it's like,
Very
get that,
visual.
yeah, yeah, like a snake. It's just ringing.
All right, and on
So
that
on that note,
bombshell,
we're going to go back to the bear jokes over at the desk.
Take it away.
Thank you very much, guys. Just leave it hanging there, just that little bit too long.
Well, you know, it usually does tend to. Never mind.
Yeah, I mean, what can we say, really? 16-11, at 6-1, they just broke the economy of NIP, and bam, good old asshole strikes, and Pasha gets wiped out and has to play on 150 ping for the rest of the game. It's basically a 4v5 again, it's like last night.
Yeah, the game kind of dies right after that, and you could tell that's when NIP, obviously, very good chance that NIP would have been able to get a couple of rounds after they get some money on board, but instead it ends up being not really that much of a contest at all, which is sad because VP definitely played better. They played way better.
I mean, they did what they could with Pasha, basically. They were just like, well, you're not going to be able to land the shot. There's no point giving you an AWP. You tried with an AK for a while, and then just like, you know what, just use an SMG, see what you can get.
Yeah, and it's pretty much use him as a bank. So you buy the cheapest SMG in the game, and you drop off whatever rifle you can actually afford to, and you just hope for the best. If you get a kill, great, you get a lot of money bonus. That's more that can be spread out to your teammates.
That moment on long literally shows the difference.
Yeah, it's
in
like half a second.
There's no way Pasha's reactions are that slow. It's like, it's literally a case of you're going to see it a full, what is it, minute,
no, but
a second later.
What people don't realize is that if you're like tethering to your phone or whatever like that, you're going to get spikes in the game.
Freeze lags.
Right? Because you can play with 120 ping. Because look at Adren, Adren rather, used to do that back in the day, right, from Kazakhstan. Play on a wooden PC with like 100 ping, and he would still get kills. The only problem is he had a steady like 120 ping, steady internet coming in, right? Whereas if you're on your phone, you're kind of screwed. It's just jumping a little bit, and so that's you might as well be a bot at that point. You're really just not going to be effective. Forest used to have to do that back in the day when NIP used to get DDoSed a lot.
Yeah, get on the dongle.
Yeah, exactly. They would go on the dongle, and you could just tell that it was just like he's reacting.
It's not the same person.
So it's not good.
Yeah, so not a great deal to wrap up on other than the fact that NIP do go 2-0. We're going to go to a quick break, guys. When we come back, it's going to be G2 versus Envy, the new showing of the Devil. We'll see how he works out.
my goodness, the energy in here is electric.
The bomb plant not quite going down. Oh my God!
G2A.com, the best video game store ever! Fast as lightning, solid as a rock, cheap as duck. What's more, you can sell on it because it's also a marketplace. Remember G2A.com, the best video game store ever!
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, TheScoreEsports.com, G2A, NVIDIA, and ESEA.
Cool. Thanks for being patient in the break, guys. We're back here live with the ESL Pro League, and we're going to go into our second, well, I guess, like best of two, not really, two best of ones.
Yeah, two best of ones.
Okay, do best of ones, fine. It's going to be Envy, the new Envy lineup, right, with Devil on it versus G2. So basically, French on French action, always a good time.
I only have to pay double for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, I know. I just wonder if he came with like a load of baguettes or something. Let's just ponder that for a moment.
A load of baguettes.
Okay, never mind. So, Moses, what do you think about this match? Are you excited?
I'm excited. I'm really pumped. Can you not tell from my voice?
I can.
Yeah.
Dude. I mean, you've only just filled for like, I don't know how long.
Yeah,
well,
we
basically
gotta play,
two best of ones.
Gotta play charades again. That was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I'm just excited to. I mean, this is like the first time we've really seen like new French blood in quite some time.
Yeah,
so that'll be cool to see.
I guess like so we've had the same 10 players rather since well Epsilon got banned basically.
Yeah.
We haven't really seen too many others. LDLC White have been kind of hanging in there in the wings, smaller tournaments they've been participating in. They've even been winning a couple of them, but they haven't really made a crack into the international scene on any level really. So
yeah,
this is
they haven't
like
been on the big stage at all.
This is the big moment here for Devil. He gets to prove himself, the most capable water boy in CS, basically. Because
or Powder Monkey, whichever way you choose to go.
Too. I feel like I didn't do a good enough job explaining that, right? Because basically there's like the cannons so they can function. You had to bring the powder up from the powder room, and you had these kids because they were small and they didn't get in the way. They could like go through everyone. While everybody's running around, they'd just be carrying powder from the room up to the cannons. So there you go. That's why, I'm just thinking, in a CS way of looking at it, they're carrying smoke grenades, carrying flashes, basically.
You think he's going to be relegated to like basically just like a full-blown support role?
Probably.
I guess you're saying.
I think that he's going to be trying to set it up for the most part for his teammates, seeing as how I don't think that anybody on Envy really wanted to do that. Keo probably didn't want to do that. So, and NVK is probably in this like middle sort of situation where he's like, I'm calling, but I also need to frag. I also need to do a bunch of other things. Like, do I need to worry about this? I don't know. I don't know because he hasn't really had any big like performances. It's not like some kind of like Simple or Oscar sort of situation where it's just like, actually this guy is new and he's wrecking people. Insane. It's not the case with Devil. He hasn't really made waves, so I can't really see.
It was NVK that tweeted out, right, that he was like the most talented up-and-coming French player, something like really, really positive about him, like in terms of his like actual individual skill.
So maybe he's just looking for somebody very consistent, basically, to like be able to back the other guys up.
See, I think that. See, I'm of the opinion that the support role is like pretty much completely dead in Counter-Strike, and I think Envy's one of the teams that like. They're expecting to be able to challenge Fnatic, expecting to be able to challenge Astralis. You need talent, like depth.
Yeah.
You need to have some all-stars at like every position.
Well, I mean, it's like we're seeing with in-game leaders, right? I mean, sure, okay, support role, right? Yeah, but like you're seeing it with in-game leaders as well, where the in-game leaders are starting to frag like crazy.
Yeah.
Hard carry like Fallen, for example. I think he's like the shining example now of the in-game leader that can still wreck your face. Nico as well for Mousesports. So they're pretty much like the big two.
Well, I'm interested because the big thing we always talk about with Envy is when Keo was still on the team. We would always say, if Apex and Keo go off, like the game's just over. Like that's the thing, the game's just done. They win. So like, is he gonna be that kind of? Is he gonna fill the second role that like Kiyoshima kind of did? Or are they gonna like kind of change things up? Are they basically just like plugging him in, and say do they have faith in him to be like you're the new like Keo in terms of like win conditions? If you go off, are they still gonna be able to be dominant?
Right. I mean, I think that's fair. But I put more importance on like Apex and like Kenny and maybe Happy. I don't know. Maybe the thing is like we obviously don't know what was going on behind the scenes either. Was there just like friction? Was it literally just like, okay, Keo, you're filling your role, but you're really not fitting in with the team right now, and this has been going on for a while, and we're tired of it. Maybe there was a coup of some sort that happened as well that we're just not privy to, obviously, because we're not in the team speak all the time with the team.
Right. I mean, there is precedent for it. I mean, that is essentially what happened last time.
Yeah.
With the big coup.
Well, we got RPK over here on the B side in Checkered, and this is G2. Obviously, always, Cash has always been a pretty solid map for him, and RPK in particular, individually, has been stepping up quite a bit lately over the past couple of months. So, going to be really interesting to see if he can actually, hit that high level. But it's going to be a quick take of mid here from Envy, boost up and head towards that B site. They're going to go after RPK, and they've already dinked him down to 12 HP. So that's perfect. Perfect start here for Team Envy.
Yeah, and I think that's an adjustment based off spotting him out there. Existence gets one headshot. He does fall immediately after the trades go in the way of Envy. Even a nade coming in to ensure that he gets cleared out. And Scream up top, oh, he's going to get destroyed by NBK.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's not going to really pan out nicely here for the retake. 2-on-4. Maybe it was communication as well that was the issue. That NBK is like, okay, well, we need somebody who can calm well. We need somebody who can get the fundamentals down. Yeah, and I guess we could speculate for days as to what the real reason was. As Smith lights Kenny up, he's gonna get caught out. What a sick shot though! Takes out Apex, single click, but the time is ticked down. Shoxy's gonna catch Happy. That was the backstab coming through, and now somehow this has gone from a 2-on-4 into just NBK holding solo, and he's gonna get flanked out in the end. Smith has got the kit, and if he can get on that bomb just fast enough, he's gonna have plenty of time for the defuse. So here I am talking about communication, and somehow Envy have just completely thrown that pistol around.
Yeah, with peaks. I mean, well, this is a decent battle. Kenny just gets caught out, but there's no need for this commit there by Apex, and he falls. I mean, that's insane, because that also pushes up then the flank has to start speeding up. Then the guy who's flanking around mid is all of a sudden he has no time. There's especially no reason for any kind of a peaks when you have that flanker in the kind of position he was in. Let that come to fruition. Your entire thing is just stall out and wait for him to come. So yeah, that's going to be stressful where they had that pistol on one. Either way, they go right back to this B bomb site. Both members of G2 stuck in checkers. RPK gets the first kill, but there's a trade-off by Kenny. Now they know exactly where RPK is.
He's still around as well. Eats a full nade, though. Nicely done there by Devil. Good bank with the HE. And now, well, again, retake scenario here for G2 going into this B site. Smiths will get that backstab on Devil. And Shoxy takes out Happy in the meantime. So it's going to be down to Kenny here with the UMP, trying to get that pre-fire going, but he's not going to be long for this world. He's roasting alive, and Shox just rushes him down. No fear at all. So nice recovery here by G2. Plenty of time for the defuse. No worries at all here.
Yeah, good damage, though, by Envy, as well as getting that plant. That bonus money is going to help out a lot. But these first 2 rounds, they've been able to swarm into that B bomb site with pretty much no defense really holding up from Existence and RPK. It's been the pistol, and now just had a big advantage there in terms of their SMGs against the upgraded pistols. So Envy looking early like they just want to abuse that B bomb site.
Yeah, I just want to get in there fast, which is interesting given the fact that I suppose it's a lot of talk has been going around about RPK and how hard he's hitting right now.
Yeah, he has been.
Maybe Envy are just actually well, then we'll just go after the raid boss right off the bat and see if we can't catch him out. I mean, look at Shox. Total lack of respect from him. Straight through the smoke in mid-garage. He's actually going to push right on up. And this could be pretty nasty. Yeah, Devil gets caught out. Putting those shots there with the Deagle gives his position away, and Kenny's he's been taken down to 10 HP already.
Shoxy with a really good angle. That flash just holds Apex back. No armor. I mean, there's an opportunity for Existence to fall as he breaks open the vents just to drop a smoke. It gets placed a little bit too shallow, but regardless, it should be pretty easily for them to stabilize from here. Shox is going to get another kill, building up that bonus money. All that's left is Kenny and Happy, see what they can find, and it's going to be a bullet from RPK.
And he even manages to pick up Kenny as well. RPK, just solid work from him, holding off the B halls. He managed to kill the first man who was lurking. That was NBK over in Toxic initially, and then he's in position to just stop that rotation coming through. Solid 6-0, however, for Shoxy. So Shoxy's warmed up. He's hungry. He's ready to go to town. Same could be said for Kenny, though. I mean, 5-0-3, so Kenny's finding frags. It's really Apex and Happy who have just had not much of an impact so far. I mean, basically everybody else on Envious, surprisingly enough.
Yeah, I mean, no real kills being found out by anyone.
Now, what is this pause coming through? That is the real question.
Yeah, that is the real question.
It's been a night of pauses, Moses.
It has been. Well, here's a question we could talk about during the pause, because normally when we the 2 big French revolutions we've seen in CSGO have always been these are the 10 players who have just been shuffled around with a couple other ones here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that Envy would have gone towards one of these guys on G2 if they hadn't been picked up?
No.
Hadn't just been signed? Do you think they would have gone back to any of them?
No.
No?
No. Easy as that. I don't think so. I don't think that they would have... they've all played together for so long that I think NBK finally decided, okay, we know what we would get if we bring anybody in from G2. Yeah. We know what to expect from that. Now I think it's time to actually start looking elsewhere. and rather than just going for another reshuffle, right? So I think that was what was going through NBK's head. And while it panned out, I mean, we have to just see. We have to give it time. We have to see this guy Devil is going to be under huge scrutiny. So there's a lot of pressure on him. So we have to give him just a little bit of time to see if he can't, you know, find his center here. Because it's going to be a learning experience for him as well. I mean, he's going from a team, LDLC White, who have never really had an impact on the international stage, to going with a team that has actually won a major. So maybe this kind of like unlocks another level for him, confidence-wise, where he's just going to feel like, okay, I can trust my teammates to pretty much handle any situation.
Right. Look at this position from Shox. Early aggression from G2 allows him to gain this advantage. And this is this is interesting. Hiding inside the smoke. No one's going to expect that. He'll be able to push right through it. Oh, there it is, a pop flash from over top. That works so perfectly. What a tactic from G2.
Okay, that was sick.
That was so sick.
He's going to die for his troubles, but still, damage is done. Man advantage now for G2. Make it 2 as Existence steps in. RPK basically with the flank there, just lying in wait. And yeah, that flash, I mean, you got to wonder, you're just like, wait, what is actually happening here?
Yeah, I wondered what the end game is. I'm like, all right, he's got like 12 seconds before the smoke fades. He's got to make his move before then, one way or the other. And the pop flash is just brilliant.
That leaves Happy alone in a 1v3. Bomb is dropped back in mid as well. He's got 20 seconds. So I guess he's just kind of looking for kills, looking to make this a little bit more expensive for G2, because he's not going to win the round. 15 seconds, and he sneaks through 2 players on the A site. RPK, finally, there we go. Peeks out, gets him in the back, and an easy round here picked up for G2 off of some clever play coming in from Shoxy, and I think that was Existence who set it up with the flash. So,
why not? Yeah. Who else would you expect it to be?
Yeah, is it Existence? I think
no, it's Scream.
Is it Scream?
It's
oh, from
Scream.
short.
Yep.
Okay.
That was so dirty.
That was really sick, you're right. Well, okay then. That's really going to tilt Envy as well. Just going to be like, what was that? And how did we die? And why is this happening to us?
That's one of those plays that just, that's why we love Counter-Strike, those kind of cool things like that. And then Shox, I mean, just to even build up more money, goes right back to the SMG, knowing he's going to be going up against a light buy, possibly no armor. Just wants to do a little bit more feasting with that, with the MP9.
His hunger is endless. He's like the Galaxy Destroyer, man. He just devours souls. Well, no. Devil just barely gets out of there in one piece. Smoke goes down again, so that's going to put Envy on edge. Is the same thing going to happen? Just kills all over the place. Shoxy will find Happy. And well, it's just going to be Scream with 2, and the bomb making its way towards that B site. It's all going to be on Devil here. He faces RPK and dies a horrible death. So 5-0. G2 off to a fantastic start here on their CT side of cash with great money. So much money in the bank. Actually, RPK has more than Shoxy does so far. And Shoxy, okay. Seriously?
Why not?
Just get an M4.
Why not? Shox this is like his ultimate revenge. This is going to be his masterpiece.
Well, I'm just going to completely
with an SMG.
Wreck you with an SMG.
Yep.
I don't even need a rifle. This is how low you fall in Envy. Allow me to demonstrate.
Reverse boost after the Molotov. They're just like sending this SMG into like the deadliest of places. Just gonna be the first contact. Be like, see what you can find with it. For some reason, Shox is waiting, biding his time. Scream's like ready to boost him, and Shox is like, no, not yet, not yet.
Oh, I like it. Apex is actually just chilling there. I mean, if Shox boosts into this, it's a nightmare. But the longer they run this down, the more effective this boost could be, because as you guys can see, Envy are starting to work their way up. They're like, okay, haven't seen anybody yet, haven't heard anything yet, so maybe the boost isn't happening. Now let's go ahead and start thinking about what we want to execute in the round. And now this is when Shoxy finally decides to step in here. And Kenny, it's the same smoke as last time. Molotov's going out, and they know what's coming, but Kenny point blank, he's going to hit the shot. RPK did push all the way up into main, and he's not going to win the duel versus Apex. Or rather, that was Happy, but still, the damage is done.
Oh, Kenny has no idea where Scream is, and Scream's going to get a second kill, a missed shot. Confusion on the Envy side, and Scream takes complete advantage of it. Now it's going to be all on Existence, though. He's going to have the pressure put on him. NBK trying to entry into the bomb site. Existence at an off angle, and it's going to catch NBK completely off guard.
There's just a little bit of a flash arena that goes out. Perfectly done. Happy is full blind. He knows exactly where the man is playing from, though. Rotation should be coming in here from G2. In Existence, he's going to peek out at the perfect time once again to pick off Happy. So, man, G2, they're pulling out all the stops. This is really smart play that we're seeing from them on the CT side. I love the fact that they decide to push together as well. It's like RPK pushes into A main as Shoxy gets boosted up there. So it's like this wombo combo coming together where if they had both pushed at the same time, that could have been disastrous for Envy.
Yeah, it's very aggressive as well that late in the round. And this is the thing, they've set the tone now too. They've told Envy, we're not going to be afraid to have aggression early on. We're not going to be afraid to do it at 45 seconds left in the round timer. Now it's a complete rush out of Envy.
Yeah, this is how they want to change things up. Flashes are going in, so it's going to be a little split, but NBK leads the charge, picks up the first kill. Smiths is going to run into him, and Smiths will be picking up just a single kill. Scream with 2. So it's a man advantage again, and the lurk is gone, so it's all on Devil. At least he gets the bomb plant, so they'll get a buy in the next round, Envy, but he's only got 10 HP, so likelihood of him getting out of this, it's a bit of a tall task. It's a bit of a lot to ask.
Just barely dodging these bullets through the smoke. Flash up. It's going to completely blind Existence, but there's just too many right next to Forklift.
Moses, it's phase up, it's phase up. Just phase. What's up? Okay.
Oh, no. Got a finger for you right here, Sumley.
Just the one. All right, 7-0. 3 guys with more than 10,000. Shox is sitting at 10. Existence is sitting at 9. Everybody's looking pretty hunky-dory on the GT side. Envy, or at this point, they've got to be wondering, well, right, so we've rushed B, we've rushed A, we've gone for delayed mid takes, and everything just keeps getting shut down. We've split B, we haven't split A yet, so you know what's the call here for MBK basically? That's what he's got to be wondering. There's the flash, it's ineffective. Pop flash comes out, it's not going to stop Shoxy from trading up. He takes out Apex, and now Kenny actually has to get in here. Shoxy needs some help. Easy shot there for Kenny.
Yeah, but the trade by Smiths, who stays to support with the second pop flash. And I mean, the kills, meanwhile, while all this is happening on the other side of the map, everyone's been obliterated as well. RPK gets a kill over towards the B bomb site. It's just down to Happy. This is a slaughter. This is around. Envy's going to have to take a pause next round.
Yeah, unless, I mean, Happy, nope. Existence with the push through B halls into T-spawn will catch him off guard. Yeah, there it is, the pause. They need to figure something out here. Because, I mean, that time they didn't rush, but they kind of like just set up in A halls to wait for the push, and it doesn't matter. Like, G2 are so confident now that they just kind of run into Envy and win all the duels anyways.
Well, it's this aggression from G2. Like, the Shox aggression in A main has been like 4 rounds. Like, half of this 8 rounds so far have been aggression towards A main in some fashion. And Envy hasn't been able to stop it whatsoever. That time they actually put bodies at it to prevent that. But Shox still blind, you know, finds a kill in the angle, and then Kenny just can't outright win the duel and retake that control. So G2 is just they're just stomping Envy right now. Maybe a little bit mercilessly, considering just with Devil now, they're, you know, maybe trying to switch some things up. They're also still, I mean, this is still a very short time in MBK's reign as in-game leader, so they are going to be a little bit disorganized. But G2 is not helping him out whatsoever with this.
No, you're dead on, man. They're taking advantage. They're like, okay, let's put as much pressure on this new lineup as possible. Not make it easy for the new guy. Not make it easy for MBK. That's pretty much spot on, I think. And this will definitely get you know, Shoxy happy, fired up. Because Shoxy, you know, obviously after him and Smiths got removed from Envy, he's probably thinking, okay, so you changed again, guys. You know, what's going on over there?
Not so easy without me, is it?
This is what you're missing. You picked up Devil? You could have had me. You could have had me. The star of this show. And then I think that's what everybody was wondering, you know. Shoxy might have been the next in line. Wasn't meant to be. Instead, it's the new blood.
Yeah, and he's this is a good introduction to the pro scene, the professional. Because I don't think Devil. I mean, I don't know the French scene very well, but I don't think he's been playing at a professional level at all ever.
He's been playing. I mean, I guess
semi-pro, the LDLC, but
yeah,
like, has he ever before been at some kind of professional level, maybe in Source or something like that?
No, I think that LDLC White are they're pretty young across the board as far as experience goes. I mean, sure, you could say the same thing for Envy. Most of them are like in their very early 20s.
Yeah, every time I see that, it makes me like it's crazy to me, considering how well respected they were Source players in the past. So it's like crazy to see them still so young.
Oh, they murdered people, and so like it's crazy. MBK, like what? He was like 16, 17 or something. Just like walks in, dominates. But again, that was like at the end of the Source era. And then they were one of the first teams to also like make that switch over to go with Very Games at the time with Existence. Ah, well, surprise, RPK, bit of a tough time here. He gets that flash out just to buy a little bit more time, and then Existence with the double spray. Is he from Checkered? Where is he shooting from? Yeah, he was up in the vents. He catches out 2 and faces Happy in mid. Somehow his teammates are able to stabilize. They get control of the situation once again, and it's Devil. He has the bomb site, but he doesn't really have a whole lot to work with here. He does have that bomb, but in a 1v2 with Shox already rotating around, this is not going to be pretty or easy.
Yeah, the best he can hope for is really getting this bomb planted, but he's going to take the fight. He's going to go for the win. At least he's going towards the Opera, but slow peeks the corner. Smith grabs it. Easy kill for him, so now it just, I mean, 9-0. That was just like a standard cash defense because there's complete mid-control for G2. Envy haven't put any pressure on it, haven't tried to force it back whatsoever. So despite the fact that RPK it doesn't have the timing down for the smoke perfectly, gets caught exposed out in the open, Existence bails him out with those 2 kills from Vents. And that's just the quick rotation because he wasn't playing in Vents at the time that hit started coming in. He was actually in mid. He had to actually climb into the Vents to make that save, and then that buys RPK time to get the Molotov down, and then it's just kind of a slaughter. So G2 not letting up. This round is, you know, a half buy from Envy. They do buy armor, they do buy the upgraded pistols, but obviously the full losing bonus in their favor. For the next round, they'll be able to have the AWP on Kenny if they want it. The AK-47s will be out. All that good stuff.
All right, well, it seems like Envy, they're tired of B site. They want to get into the action over here on A again. So they're kind of spread out now. It is going to be that split. They're going to have that push coming in through Squeak right now. This is a quasi-buy for them, so we have to see. 4 Deagles, not exactly the best kind of rush weapons to have. You'd probably want to mix a Tech 9 in there at some point just to be able to get that run and gun element. I mean, they should be able to achieve something here, Envy, at least if nothing more than just a couple kills.
Pop flash. Smiths is going to get flashed in, and that's perfect. It gets 2 of them blind. He finds that kill. Kenny trades him off immediately, though, so now it's all on RPK inside the bomb site. He gets 1. They're trying to come over the box, but there's teammates on highway for G2, bailing him out of a tough spot. They've made their way into the site, but they're so low. And actually a nade just rolls in from Existence and cleans out Happy and Kenny. So a little bit precarious for G2, but they manage it nicely. 10-0 now, and Envy still no real success to even get on the board, and Kenny is going to have that all. Maybe this is where he comes to play.
Yeah, this is the whole point of that quasi-buy, I suppose. Just make sure that you got all the money. You got all the Molotovs right now on everybody. Kenny with the AWP, do they go for a quick boost just to see if they can get in there? I mean, it does seem like it, and there we go. They cancel out the Molotov very quickly, just trying to take over mid. They've let G2 have control of this part of the map for too long, and at least Shox is going to be able to get that 1-for-1. Kenny strikes him down, however, and Apex is there to remove Scream as well, so no safety here for Scream. He's not able to get out in one piece. And now they're in a bit of a tight spot here, G2. A man down, and Kenny's managed to sneak his way out as well. He might hear the footsteps of the man holding close to Garage. That's RPK making his way up into Vents. But he's not close enough. RPK walks it, and now things kind of calm down here. G2, though, they are focused on that B site for now, and mainly because Smiths is in here in A. Look at this clever spot from him.
Yeah, this late in the round, coming into A main, you more than likely don't expect this whatsoever, but he's going to have to get it down. Once that smoke clears, he does find a new angle. But his teammates have got him covered with RPK and Vents, although, just as I say that, Kenny clears him out. Nice awareness by Kenny to make sure that doesn't happen. So Smiths is actually looking like he's going to have some attention put on him, and he's got to win this opening duel. They almost line up for him, but it's the bait from Apex. Smiths goes for one more repeat. That Molotov is going to be able to slow him down, but the rotation is so far away. It's all on Smiths here.
Yeah, and they've got a man in Link to catch the rotator as well. So Envy, they've really thought this out, and Smiths misses another shot. Not going to hit the point blank on Happy either. That's going to be it. Done. Actually, man in Link has worked his way up short as well, so at this point, it's like NBK is just waiting. It's like Existence. You silly goose. I'm not there anymore. I'm behind you. You heard about this guy, Get Right? I taught him how to do that. And his, you know, that was it. That's all he had to say. Existence knew the depths of his despair.
It was at that moment.
He knew.
First round for Envy, and they have got to make sure, at least they survive with 4 that round. So they have some money. If they do happen to lose this, it's not like a hard reset. They can still buy into the next one. But it was off the back of that mid control. They battled so hard for that so early on in the round, and now Apex running right through the smoke. He gets brought down to about half HP. Flashbangs come out, but Envy's already out of A main.
Wow, and Devil, he hits that shot on Scream, who was admiring the wall, basically. RPK and Shox are going to get 2 kills. There's a man quickly pushing up here, and that is Existence. Takes the fight straight up with Happy, wins it, gets the second kill on NBK, and he nearly takes out Kenny as well. He just needs to calm down now. Deep breath. And move in together as a unit. You've got your teammate there. You're going up against an op. So if you manage to get the timing right where you peek together, there's no way Kenny should be able to pull this off. but it's so tough to nail that. It is so tough to be able to get in there at the exact same moment, especially because Smith is going with an AWP of his own. So a lot of this is going to come down to existence, and he just rushes out. Smith's nowhere to be found.
Yeah, they had flashes and Molotovs used as well, so Kenny's found 2 1-on-1s, but he's not prepared for that whatsoever. He thinks, for whatever reason, he thinks Smith has already crossed, but he's going to get bailed out by the fact that Smith has no kit.
How?
And Smith currently has $3,000 before that bomb blew up, so he should have had a kit. So there's a small mistake from G2.
Well, we always knew Smith was a tit. What is that? Smiths, you had that round.
Yep.
And how? Okay.
Let that be a lesson, kids. Kids at home watching.
Always buy a kit, especially if you got $3 grand in the bank.
Yep.
Yeah, look at that. He buys one now. It's too late, Smiths. Look at this, especially after your in-game leader like walks in and gets a 1v2 and sets it up for you.
Yeah. And that is someone we didn't really get a chance to mention earlier. We talked about RPK, how well he's been playing lately, but Existence has been putting up numbers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had like his individual level has definitely risen. I mean, he's up there right now with Shoxy and RPK, and that is really sick to see. So I wonder, because Nyak is not an in-game leader kind of coach. He's definitely their manager, sort of stepping in and making sure that the infrastructure is there to make sure that the team can just focus on CS. But like Shoxy coming onto the roster now, I wonder if they've split the role. If it's not just Existence calling all the time anymore, if Shoxy has a bit more of a say in it, because we have had that kind of situation in the past. Actually, that is kind of. So Scream crashed, guys, real quick, just so you guys get an update on what is happening here. It shouldn't be too long. Yeah, okay, so that was it, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he crashed during the round. So, well, that's unfortunate. It happens. Don't think that they can replay it. But yeah, I mean, that's usually like the point of friction with the teams that Shoxy joins, though, is that, he wants to get in there and start dictating things, and you already have an in-game leader who's like, well, bro, I run this ship, so
Yeah.
You may be good at getting headshots, but take a walk, right? And that's kind of what happened a few times. I think at one point he was saying, I'm never going to play with Existence again. And then he's here with Existence again.
That's what happens when you are united by a common enemy, you know?
Yeah, that is true, man. Envy.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
They are just like the villains to everybody, actually. We know there's no love because at Barcelona, it made it pretty clear.
Yeah, that was a big statement.
Yeah,
that was a huge statement.
Not friends of mine. We're not going to dance anytime soon. So I mean, yeah, G2 made it pretty clear that Envy, you're on your own, bros. Which is again probably what had to. Well, I don't know. Could you, if you were on G2, if you're somebody on G2 and if Envy came knocking, would you go back? If you were Shoxy or Smith, I doubt it.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I really doubt it. And
especially with like the form, like with RPK stepping it up, like we said, Existence stepping it up. I mean, G2's looked good. They haven't really had many opportunities since they've kind of hit this new form to kind of show that off.
Yeah.
Major's going to be a cool test, though.
Yeah. It's a cool test every time when it comes to a team with Existence, because it's like he hasn't made it out of the groups since DreamHack Winter 2013, which breaks my heart.
It's so insane to think about, too.
And this is like a guy who's had the likes of like Shoxy, of Kenny, of like just like ridiculously talented players on his team, and
he's hailed as like the best tactician of the early portions of CS:GO.
It's like this is the my theory was just like you get beat up long enough that you just forget how to be able to actually win. Right? It just repeats itself. It repeats itself. You always hit this block, and and it's not until you can actually just like, if it's a fluke, that you break it, that you get a win, right? An important win, that you're able to break that cycle. You're just kind of stuck in there. And so maybe Shoxy and Smith coming back to the roster now, they come from a winning team. They come from Envy, who at the time were dominating, right? Obviously up until the roster change came through when they lost a couple tournaments. Sean Garrett and Cloud9 were really happy about that. It wasn't until they came back into the roster, and I think Shoxy shows up and he's just like, boys, like it's time, right? You've been like a butterfly, you were a caterpillar, right? You've been eaten up by all the birds, Fnatic, and it's time for you to reach your next form, right? Learn how to spread your wings again and fly.
I forget who told me this, but when Shox like initially joined the roster, like it was with RPK, who still hadn't found this level. RPK very much struggled and was a little lackluster on his first few months when he came back and rejoined Titan. I forget who it was that told me that Shox was actually playing like a really big like mentor role, like helping him improve, like spending a lot of time outside of practice on like individual gameplay with RPK.
Shox has been doing that with Smith or with Scream as well.
Really?
Like it was at Minsk where it was a little bit of a powwow actually. He kind of cornered Scream in the hotel lobby and talked to him for like 2 hours. You know, just saying, bro, you know, it's time for you to wake up. You got the aim, you got the mechanics. Now you just need to start really like looking at the game differently, trying to figure out, you know,
the bigger
picture, right? Because you have all the elements. Now it's time, right? So Shox, he'll do that if he gets into a team. You know, he'll start doing that where he's just like, okay, you know, this is something you can work on it, right? And I'll be here to answer. It was the same thing when he was calling, what was it, 2014 Gamescom when when he was Epsilon back then, right? And you know, he was calling on that team. It was the same thing where he's just like, you know, I see what they're doing, and the issue is that I want to be in all 5 spots because, you know, it's I can just see like they don't have the experience to know what to do or the confidence to know what to do in these situations, and all I can do is just sit there and tell them, right, this is why I'm leading this team. And so Shoxy's always like that. He's always just like, okay, I see the issues. Now we have to try and fix them, or just make space for me to just, you know, dominate,
or
right?
just give me everything I want.
Yeah, exactly. It's one or the other.
Yeah, well, I mean, at least in this case, it seems like they've responded to that because I mean, we even Scream, who's, you know, not the highest in the scoreboard in this particular game, but even he, ever since has been on the older Kinguin roster, has looked really, really good coming back into this one. So this is in this pause, just once again waiting. 2 rounds in a row for Envy. Their money still isn't that good though. But it's then these aggressive. That'll be the fun thing because that's the change that Envy made after going down so much. They're like, all right, now we're just going to pick up the pace, going to be aggressive, fast out mid. You saw those boost overs, the flashbangs, very coordinated, smoke into the Molotov, contested that mid control very early on. Then the next round it was basically an A rush again with rifles. Benefited a little bit by that Scream crash, obviously, but overall getting into these sites, getting these map controls very, very quickly in the round. So how does G2 respond to that now?
Just keep doing what they're doing, I think. Like, don't change up.
Yeah.
Like, because right now that's like, okay, you know, Envy, you got 2 rounds and both of them have been super aggressive. The way that you change up, I guess, is you just keep going with the anti-rush nades, right? Because you have the money. You're gonna have the money for the incendiaries, the HEs. Maybe change up your timings on the incendiaries instead. You know, chuck those out first.
Or maybe instead of, you know, incendiary and the boost, because they were ready with that third player in line to just smoke it off. Maybe instead of the Molotov, you just chuck like 3 grenades up there.
Get those HEs in there to soften them up.
Talk about your cannonballs.
Yeah, there you go, man. Just lob those HEs. Oh, man. This is a little frustrating. We haven't had much luck tonight, Moses.
Yeah, no, or last night for that matter.
Or last night.
Yeah.
Or last night, that's true. It's been a real struggle. You get too used to. Okay, we got a quick update, guys. Thank you, Matt. He's back, and we should be going soon.
Cool.
Cool is right.
That is a long crash.
That is a long crash. I wonder what happened. Did he blue screen? No.
Maybe he doesn't have an SSD.
Yeah.
Still wouldn't make sense. It's been like a 10-minute crash.
Because, yeah, exactly. It doesn't take you. If you got a PC that takes 10 minutes to boot up, you've got a problem, like a bigger problem.
Massive problem.
And Scream should not have too much issues like getting a decent PC, right? So,
No.
kind of curious about what actually happened there. But regardless, I mean, Envy have got to be kind of happy about this right now, at least. Well, actually, I don't know.
Yeah,
you could say that they're happy. You could say that they're happy, that it's just like, yeah, okay, well, let's talk it out and let's figure out what we do next. But at the same time, they were getting momentum going their way there.
Yep.
So this whole pause really kind of shuts that down and allows for G2 to discuss what was going wrong.
It's essentially a timeout for G2.
Yeah, a free one as well. I actually thought initially that it was a timeout coming out from G2, but then obviously it's like, oh no, Scream. Scream, bro.
Come back.
The headshot machine. Like, if there's another headshot percentage sticker, like pick'em challenge going into this major, Scream's gonna make so much Skrilla.
Yeah, but you know, was it Cluj that this happened? That it was like the complete opposite of who you expected would be at the top of the headshot. Like Scream wasn't up there like at all.
Because it was like some one-sided.
Cutler was up there from CLG.
It's like some one-sided game where it didn't even make sense, and the guy was just popping heads everywhere.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he is on the 7th best team in the world.
Fair enough. I'm not like super on board with Thorin's rankings this time, but but you know. I mean, his way of saying it, when he's got this like Jay-Z quote where it's like, you know, moral victories are from minor league coaches. And I'm just like, yeah, okay, it sounds cool, Thorin, but still would kind of have like even G2 above Dignitas just as far as like skill is concerned on the team. In front, above Dignitas, above CLG. Dignitas as well.
Interesting situation here. RPK has $1,200 and can buy a kit. So, if you'll remember, that lack of a kit on Smiths is what gave Envy their first round. Now they're up at 2. So just a small mistake might be able to just snowball out of control if Envy can continue this winning streak. And here it is, another A execute.
Yeah, and a bit more of a passive hold. Nobody holding close to forklift, just basically holding back on the site. Shoxy lighting people up. Kenny's going to step in, pick up one. Shoxy, last bullet in the gun, gets the 3rd kill of the round for himself. He could get a 4th as well, but finally Happy's going to step in and have something to say about this. Takes him out, and Apex takes out RPK, but that was over on the B site, so Happy's in a bit of a tight spot. He's got a man moving up on short, and Existence will eventually find the headshot. So Apex now, they know where he's coming from as well. Does hit the headshot on Existence, however, so this is kind of crazy.
That was another fight on the G2 side that didn't really need to be taken with Smiths in this position. I don't even know if he's been spotted out this whole time. I mean, Apex might think he's flanking a main or something, but I'm not even sure. I don't even think Smiths has shot a bullet. He hasn't shot a bullet, hasn't been dealt damage. He's going to find that kill into Apex, who jumps up on the electrical box. So 11-2, the streak is stopped. And there actually is not very much money for a buy in this round from Envy, so they might just want to do maybe a half buy, try and get the bomb planted. And for the last one, no, they're just, yeah, what am I saying?
It's the 14th round.
Stop me, Semler, when these things happen. Just be like, dude.
I did. I didn't let, you know, there was the bus, and you were teetering on the edge. I grabbed your backpack and I pulled you back, bro. I saved you. I saved you, don't worry. I mean, let me see. I was thinking about another short jump, and I was like, nah, no more. No more.
I'm not even that short.
I know, exactly. It's just like, it's, you know, it's that corny one where it's like, but you got a big heart, Moses.
Oh,
you know who doesn't have a heart anymore?
Yeah.
Scream.
It's kind of ripped out.
Because he's dead. You know who else is dead? Happy with the flank, though, is going to catch out Smith, so there's hope yet. There's hope yet for Envy.
The bomb is down on the A site, though, and I'm assuming G2 knows this from getting that kill. And a little bit interesting to see Envy, I mean, going away from the bomb, at least initially. A minute left on the clock, and NBK and Happy are going to be grouped up through these vents. But it's like a situation. Shox is now, you know, see, they like wheel around. They both go through mid, but they don't group up. So it's still a very split situation.
It is a bit of a split situation for G2 as well, though.
Yeah.
I guess Shox, I mean, it's going to come down to Existence drawing the attention to himself so that Shox can spring the trap. Because right now they can't support each other, so it is a little nasty. Shox, he heard him, steps out, wins the duel versus NBK. Not as clean as it could have been there. There was a moment where it was a little scary. But now, well, it's going to be Happy in a 1v2. He's got the op, and he's worried about getting backstabbed. He's going to try and press onto this site and go for the counter plays, but Shoxy's ready. Sorry, Happy. Get wrecked.
Yeah. 12-2 now, so another force buy is going to be in order for Envy. They don't get the bomb planted, so they can't even pick up rifles. So this is looking, I mean, as if we didn't already realize it was turning into a dominant half from G2. They're now up massively, looking to get even more massive. They're only going to be going against Tech 9s, a Deagle on Happy. Plenty of utility on the Envy side, but I mean, they've been struggling to find success even with rifles, and this time it looks like they're going to head over towards this B bomb site right at RPK in Existence.
And RPK, he's got that clever little gap in the smoke there to abuse. Doesn't decide to hold it, though, because he is a little bit out in the open if he stays there. Is he just going to be waiting for any kind of nade to come in? That incendiary going down isn't going to help things, though. Flash will buy him just a little bit of time, but the smoke is there, and he's effectively locked out of the site. Real unfortunate turn of situation there because RPK then gets caught. He tried to force things, tried to push in. Apex was ready and waiting for him. Shoxy, though, going to take the fight in mid. Will eventually overwhelm Happy. Yeah, at some point. But then Scream, what the hell was Scream doing there?
Yeah, I don't know. Shox actually, he had to turn from a flashbang, so he like just took the gamble that the first couple Deagle bullets were going to miss. Eventually did win that out. Now he's got a player isolated over towards Sunroom, and he's got to find this kill before he can commit into the site, and he does. He's down very low, though, all on Smiths with his AWP. Shox still goes for the battle. Smiths is trying to find the angle. No, it's peeking at leg shot, but Devil cleans things up. So third round for Envy in this half.
If only NBK had been tagged and taken a little bit of damage somewhere in that round. Bit surprising just to see RPK not have any impact at all, really. I mean, Flash, smoked, stubborn. He wanted to stay in that position, and then it ends up costing him in the
That
end.
smoke that was thrown in that doorway in Checkers, though, was that thrown by Envy? Did you see?
Do you believe?
Because I'm assuming that, because there's no reason for Existence or RPK, because that smoke completely isolated RPK as well as that Molotov in front of him. So that might just be Envy saying, all right, we know RPK likes to play in Checkers. Let's just smoke him off, and we won't have to worry about that when we enter in to try and find Existence. So maybe a cool little tactical twist. Might have been too little too late. We'll have to see with the CT side, but either way, a monster half out of G2 on defense.
CT can be a little bit more forgiving, perhaps, though. When it comes to Devil, for example, if he can just get his aim going. But there has been a lot of clever stuff coming out from G2 to get them this far, to get these 12 rounds on the board. So it's going to be NBK with that peek into A main, and he might be in for a bit of a sad time. He's going to spot Smiths. There's the jump. Oh, he hits a sick headshot midair, and he gets 2, 3, couldn't even get 4. The smoke is there to save his life. What is this? NBK finally gets shut down, but I thought he was dead for sure. That was it. It was over. How does he find the headshots?
That first shot on the jumping player was so awesome. And now Existence fakes the plant, tries to push forward. Devil's ready for it. But what a solo hold from NBK. 1 on 5, essentially. And he finds 3 kills and buys time. This shot is insane right here.
What was
Get out.
that?
Get out, Smiths.
Yeah, man. And then that smoke comes down. It works even better. He kind of gets into the panic spray mode there for a moment. If he just
It's
was
also the
patient.
excitement. He's like, what have I just done?
I can't believe it, man. That first shot was so sick. And Kinguin, I mean, what can you really say at that point? You're just like, well, we just got wrecked, boys. Okay. That's how it goes sometimes. There's the flash. There's the peek. Apex takes out Smith. Shoxy, though, is going to find the headshot on Apex right back. But NBK is holding that line, so they aren't going to be able to recommit here, G2, anytime soon.
Yeah, Existence out mid as well. That's a lot of intel that he hasn't seen anyone quite yet. Scream's boosted over. He, too, sees absolutely nothing. So mid-control for the G2 side. They don't have any nades to use. That's the one biggest issue. But if they can, I mean, they have 4 Deagles, so if any one of these guys finds just some kind of incredible headshot, it could just be all over. Kenny hiding in this corner. He hears the footsteps. There's a third guy. Happy is cheating over towards Connector.
So a quick rotation. I mean, Existence is still up in vents, though. He's going to spot out Happy, so he's looking for that headshot, but Happy, he'll land it first. And it'll be the 3 players now from G2. Kenny decides to fall back to the site, consolidate that defense with Devil. Well, now it gets a little tricky here for G2. How do they exactly crack into this defense? Shoulder peek, but he doesn't commit. Well played there by Devil. He steps out into RPK, however, so that's really not going to help things. And now Kenny's going to get caught out by Shoxy. What in the hell is going on? How do they actually get both of those kills?
Yeah, Kenny trying to beat the flashbang and get a peek with it, catch someone turned around, but Shox doesn't fall for that. Willing to be blinded, still gets the kill. 25 seconds left, and they've got to get creative now, and they boost up into vents. They're going to rotate back towards the bomb set, but NBK reads this. There goes Shox. They've got to win this battle, because NBK, this could just be 2 easy kills for him. Sprays down the first one. Down to RPK, has the bomb, but NBK's going to clean that out as well.
Easily. He makes it look so easy. Just took a little bit too long, and NBK, he gets into that long line from CT car, from truck, basically.
But you could see the issue when they have no nades. I mean, they couldn't even cross into that B bomb site. They had to take those battles with the Deagles at range. From there still, I mean, once again, just no utilities going over to the truck as well. It's just another choke point that's easy for NBK to just maul them in.
I am just a little bit surprised to see such a heavy emphasis put on the Deagles, though. Because Deagles don't really speak to, run and gun. Not the same way like a Tech 9 would. So, interesting choice. And while that was not an interesting round, that was about as clean as Anti-Eco gets. NBK just taking a little bit of damage there, but still 6-12, and it's going to be that big buy round coming in now. 4G2, the one that they've been waiting for so patiently, and now we have to see if they're actually going to be able to get something out of it. They're close enough where they should be able to close things out here, because if they win this round, Envy are going to be in an awkward space regarding money. Should still be able to get a force buy, but it makes it look a lot better for G2. Oh.
Mid-control. That's a safe way to get up and towards the vents as well. You avoid any kind of spam that comes out. Apex doesn't go into vents, though. He's actually toying with the edge of that smoke. 4 members of G2 are actually poised over towards this A bomb site, including the bomb. Screams at the door, drops a smoke. And Happy's the actual only defender here. NBK's on rotate. He's at highway, though, so he's going to come up. He's not smoked off just yet. And actually, Smith takes that fight right out in the open, finds the first kill. Happy's got to hold on as long as possible.
Oh, Happy getting clever, not going to be able to find the kill. Devil with the nade, he dunks Smiths, and Apex just charges in. Kenny somehow brings us back to a 1v1, and that was chaotic for a moment. Shoxy, who was lurking, and now he's going to try and create some opportunities here. He's going to move his way up short, but Kenny's coming up Link behind him, so this could get awkward here for Shoxy. It's all about timing. Which way is he looking? And he is going to be watching for Kenny. Fantastic work from him.
Yeah, you could see Shox. He knows he's got to clear that out. Knows he's got to be wary of it and backing down that ramp, backing down highway. Just trying to eliminate the different angles that he can get shot at. Finds the cover. Good timing from him. But you're right. I mean, despite the win, look at this buy at a G2. I don't know if they... Yeah, Smiths is only on a Tech 9. They have a Galil on Existence, 2 AKs.
Yeah, it's not pretty. Far from it. All right. But do they have enough money for that execute that they were using not too long ago versus Astralis? That's what I want to see, because I was wondering, when are they actually going to just start, you know, lining up that B execute, get the Molotovs in, clear things out, and just swarm the site? Do they have enough nades for it?
They've got 3. It looks like they want to use more Molotovs toward Checker, though, to force anyone out of Checkers. The defense is all on the bomb site, although Devil, he isn't burning alive, and he's getting 2 kills. Helps Kenny get a 3rd as well. This attack is pretty much eliminated. Here comes Smiths with the Tech 9. Shox with 1 more, starts to open things up. But he's now in a 1-on-2 situation. Kenny's very low, but NBK on the rotate. Plenty of health to deal with anything, and over a minute for Shox to work with. He backs away. He's going to find a new avenue.
He's actually trying. Unfortunately, that vent isn't broken, so if he goes for it, it's going to make a lot of noise. But again, so much time to work with means that he can just kind of maneuver his way around the map. Now they have to worry about Checkered. They're not too sure. You can see NBK trying to play it safe. Kenny going with the shoulder peaks as well. But they're going to be in position now. The timing, the way that this clock is working, Envy should be aware now that he's had plenty of time to move his way into CT, into any which way, any angle basically. So Envy, they've got a lot of spots to worry about here, and a lot of this comes down to timing. Shoxy checks the back and takes a little bit too long doing it. NBK will catch him out.
Yeah, there's that timing. Off the back of an interestingly, like a pretty weak buy out of G2, out of a win. Don't often see that kind of a beat-up buy when you win a round, so. P90 and Tech 9 can't convert it the second round, but investment again into this one. It's armor, it's pistols. In fact, it looks like they're fully bought into this round as G2. It's all P250s, so this is more of that run and gun style, less of the Deagle they have to work with, or they worked with in the second round at least. And it's looking like it's going to be a very fast A-hit. There's 3 members here for Envy, though. This should just get slaughtered, although completely blind is Happy out in the open. NBK gets the first 2. Happy does eventually fall, but Apex and NBK are still doing work.
NBK in his corner. Yeah, it'll be Devil and Kenny to pick up the last 2 kills. They hold off that storm. Nicely done, though, by Envy. NBK, man, he just stayed alive forever in that situation. He was down to like 3 HP or something.
Yeah, and this is such a weird money situation for G2 to be in. I don't know why they invested so much into that round. I mean, it's got to be because they just thought they did more economic damage. It almost feels like those 2 rounds, they misread the economy of Envy. With that kind of like a P90 instead of an AK. Tech 9 on Smiths as well. Not buying up there, and then that round thinking they just still had less than they actually did. So G2 now, they have some rounds to play with still. They're still 5 ahead, so it's not, you know, super dangerous territory, but they still need to start stringing some together.
Yeah. That was just off the box. I thought he was going for like some kind of weird run boost or something across. It's been fun. Style points.
Oh, that nade. Oh, that's sick.
That
hurts. Scream.
That hurts.
Yeah, that's no fun.
Max damage, pretty much. Oh. They're really taking their time with this. RPK is finally going to die.
They're juggling these pistols, it looks like. There's a Deagle and a P250. Where's the Deagle at?
Well, they're both in A halls. Existence has got one of them, though, so yeah, he's the one who's waiting for somebody to peek. And he'll find that headshot on a Happy who was setting up the flash. Now he's actually turning away, so the timing couldn't have been better for Existence. Now it's, you know, NBK, he gives away his position, but that's not a problem. So long as he doesn't really peek, or he does it at the right time, as you guys can see, he gets onto that A site. So there really isn't a whole lot that you know, G2 can do about that. Plays it very smartly, backs off, and now it's an impossible situation here for Scream. He's kind of just hoping for somebody to get impatient and charge him, it looks like.
Yeah, he shouldn't even really be able to do any more damage. And you could see, look at Envy, how passive they're playing, just holding their angles far back. Scream's going to die here as he peeks it. Oh, no, he's not. But there it is. Devil finally does finish him out, swings out wide. 13-9 now. no plant, but there is plenty of money. This losing bonus is at 3 rounds, so there is a good amount of money in the G2 side. They do have all the AK-47s. They've got a couple Molotovs to work with, all the smokes they could need. They have all 5 players with a smoke, but it's just those 2 Molotovs and RPK in existence.
Can we just get that B Halls execute going here for G2?
Like burn the site?
Yeah,
execute?
like the full execute.
The apocalypse.
They didn't have full money. It's going to be an aggressive A take coming out here. Scream finds that headshot on Devil that was in mid. And Envy, their answer, well, it's a little late, but this was part of the plan. Get into A main, behind the flashes, take control of it away from G2. So you can see Apex, he's pushed all the way up to the entrance. He gets that smoke down like Shoxy did earlier on in the first half. And now things get interesting because RPK, he's managed to get into checkered here. And it doesn't look like the man holding on the site, Kenny, he's aware. Goes for that shoulder peek, that jump, and I think he spotted out RPK.
Well, the Molotov actually forces RPK to be a little bit more committed for at least a certain period of time. Defense is split with Devil gone. He was very aggressive in mid all by himself, and there's the battle that RPK wants to take. Finds Kenny, brings him down very, very low. Still, not a lot of information gathered by Kenny, though. They still only saw 1 person there. So you see him, they're not cheating any kind of rotates over. NBK is still very pushed up towards lockers. But, I mean, the rest of the map is controlled by G2.
And with that man advantage, they still have some utility to work with as well. A couple of smokes. So when do they just decide to go for the push onto the A site here? NBK peeks out. Perfect time to catch out Scream. Gets that flash down as well. Going to walk right in, do a little bit of damage there to Smiths, force him back. Existence moves his way up short. So now that they know that there are 2 players holding on this site, NBK had to hold the line. If he won that duel versus Smiths, that would have changed everything. That would have dropped the bomb.
Oh no, Smiths has 5 HP and Happy runs out of bullets. There's Existence onto Kenny. Happy's the only one left. And this is, I mean, this is a nice setup from G2, and Smiths is just going to end things. At a headshot angle with that low HP, and he just wins the battle outright. 14-9 now. And actually, now the buys are going to start getting a little bit sketchy for Envy. They can drop over some guns to Happy and Apex, who are down at 2,500, 2,800. And actually, Kenny goes for the AWP. So now we're going to see that brought out on the CT side. This might leave, yeah, I think because of that AWP, he doesn't drop a weapon over, so that's why Happy's stuck on the 5.7.
Yeah, he had 6 grand. He could have dropped the FAMAS, but maybe Happy just doesn't want it. He's just like, okay, I'll use the 5.7. That's fine. Devil did take the hit. He dropped an M4 for NBK. But again, they are just really putting a lot of focus on 8 main halls here for Envy. Just getting in here quickly, early on in the rounds, getting those flashes in, making sure that G2 can't really get control on this part of the map. But again, we find RPK making his way straight into checkered. So now Envy, they have to be worried at least a little bit about getting caught out in the open here. And with that angle, it's being held by Kenny on the B site alone with that AWP. Means that RPK would really have to commit heavily. And that smoke going down is basically narrowing it down to just 1 place there for RPK to go for the peak. There's the flash. Could be a free kill coming through, but Devil decides not to push. He's actually going to hold back on the site. In the meantime, it's a trade 1-for-1 in mid, but then Kenny finally catches out RPK. They decide to pull the trigger here at G2, and it doesn't go their way. Smiths and Shox, the last 2 alive. 2 on 4, and they need somebody to make a mistake here. And it's just not going to happen. Long-range shot coming out from Apex.
Low HP, another headshot angle when you're at low HP, so just eliminating the amount of body that can take damage. And there's Happy pushing up, takes out Smiths. Shox had to make a play there. Shox had to try and do something as the rest of his team just kind of collapsed, but that was a good battle from mid control. You can see the pop flash from Envy. 2 players on Highway, 1 in Connector, and they all peak at the same time. Scream's able to get 1, but not the second. Still 10-14 now. Another situation where it just kind of resets the money.
Really stumped right now. I have no idea why G2 aren't just doing something structured and rush. You know, like the pick kind of style just is not working for him so far. So, and you're not really allowed to lose after that first half.
Yeah, right.
You're really, really not allowed to lose the map if you have that kind of first half. So G2 right now, they're starting to feel that pressure because Team Envious, they're catching up, and G2's economy just isn't strong enough to really put up much of a fight.
Well, and they've got Shox at 1,200 and Smiths at 1,500, so this might actually have to be the double save kind of situation. If they keep buying it like they are, I mean, at a certain point, this is just giving Envy an advantage and an avenue to retake control of this match. And it's still 14 rounds for G2, 1 away from tie point at least, but they're trying to win this one outright without a strong economy, and it hasn't worked so far. And Now look, this is like all their eco rounds, all their save rounds essentially. The low buy rounds have been very, very patient outright. They don't have the deagles this time. They can't go for the pick, but that's going to help. Apex doesn't have head armor, and he gets wrecked.
Ouch, down to 16. NBK will find existence, and it's going to be that commit to the B side here. Kenny in position, will find the shot onto Smiths, could get the follow-up as well. Playing it very aggressively, he just goes ham. Devil will find a kill in there somewhere, but Kenny gets 2. And yeah, I don't agree. What is going on?
I could just hear the disappointment.
Go for a quasi-buy. Go for a quasi-buy, Tech-9 Kevlar, handful of nades, and then go for it. Now you have like this weird split-buy sort of situation. And those really haven't been working for him so far, so...
And now Kenny's in the mood, so it's, oh, what a pop flash, though, and RPK annihilates Devil, and gets the second one to Kenny, and a third on to Apex. That'll make it work. Envy runs right into the blender and gives it up to G2.
Okay, then. RPK. All right.
All of our questions have been answered.
I don't even know, dude. This makes literally no sense. All right, flash in, and now they've got control of that B site, so this is it. Not really the time to be saving here if you're Envy. You need to get in here and find a kill somehow. MBK checking vents, not going to see anybody there, so that's fine for him. Might be moving through B halls, but Smiths has got the angle on him. Smiths is in position. And yeah, MBK, he's just not going to waste any time. He needs to get in here. Happy doesn't have too much HP, so it's going to have to be MBK, the playmaker here.
And he's coming out of vents for checkers, and Smiths is covering this at long range. He's going to be able to block off this avenue into the bomb site. So there's really not a lot of hope for Envy this round, except if NBK does that. Finds the angle so swiftly as well. He's got to find one more, but it's Shox. He's too quick.
Yeah, this is not going to be pretty here for Happy, who drops down from the rafters. Shox, he picks him off midair. And that's a round for G2.
It's a round for RPK. Thank you, sir.
Basically, it's, yeah, a round for RPK, and it's just perfect with that flash.
Yeah.
Envy decided to go aggressive really hard into B halls, and RPK, he just manages to completely shut it down with a single flash nade. That's that lucky break coming through there for G2, really. Yeah.
Kenny still has the AWP, but it's a glass cannon this time. And he has that over towards B bomb site. Now Shox is ready to go. He gets in a first headshot. Devil responds onto him, but he's so incredibly low, and he's getting Molotov'd out. He might just burn alive. He gets away with 3, but there it is, a long-range spray from Scream. It's a headshot, of course. Existence clearing out NBK, now down to a 4-on-2. And they're split across the map, and there goes Happy. Kenny's the last one left.
Glass cannon op. Vintage Kenny, please. Perhaps. I mean, he's got the magic stick, so let's see. That bomb, though, they have all the time in the world, and it's not even going to be necessary. RPK steps out into the open and gets another 2 kills for himself here before the end of this map. So first map between the two, and G2 actually managed to pick up the win. Bit of an expected result considering, you know, the roster change for Envy, but still, they made it last a whole lot longer than necessary, it seems. Just because, I mean, they ended up with what, like 13-2?
Yeah. No, it's 12-3.
12-3? It was 12-3. You're right. 12-3 at the beginning of the second half. So, and it took ages. It took ages for them to actually get in there and actually win a round.
Yeah, well, I mean, RPK is going to help them out. That was a really nasty round. But yeah, I mean, that first half, it basically, like you said, you're not allowed to win when you have that kind of a lead, but it's not just that. It just allows them to have those kind of mistakes, allows them to get a little bit testy or drop the ball a little bit. I mean, you don't want to see it, obviously, but even if they do, I mean, that lead is just like almost insurmountable.
Yeah, I mean, just so many rounds going in. So, I mean, yeah, it's still... What I would have loved to have seen was a G2 that, with that kind of lead, they just completely smash Envy. And then you're thinking, right, this is looking really good for G2. Like, this is looking like a revitalized G2. This is how things are supposed to go. The fact that they gave up so many rounds to Envy and made a lot of weird calls as far as force buys with their economy makes me a little worried.
I'm still happy enough about the opening of that CTF with Shox, how aggressive he was.
True enough, though.
Yeah.
True enough. That was a 6 CT half. All right, guys. We're going to go ahead and throw it to the analysts now to hear what they have to say about that first map between the two. And then we'll have the second map coming up after that.
Thank you very much, guys. So, yes, I mean, they pretty much nailed it on the head there. 12-3 half, you thought, okay, G2 just going to cruise over Envious here, but couldn't seem to get it going on the T side.
No, well, they did. It seemed like they took a bit of freedom, seeing how they had such a big lead, decided to do a bit of a I guess, untested buy in terms of, you know, a lot of teams will go Tech9's armor or just save up an early buy, that type of thing, or just get a solid buy with an AWP. G2 actually go the way of buying Deagles, which nearly works out as well. They actually open up the B bomb site there with the kills from Shox and RPK, but seeing how they didn't have the smoke due to their investment in weapons, they kind of figured they'd rotate over towards A and try their luck there, you know, hoping that Envy had done a full rotation over towards B. But it happens. It felt like G2 had pretty okay control over that game pretty much the entire time, especially given how, if you think about it, in that first half, one of the round Envy even gets is because Scream crashes.
Yeah.
And gives them a
That's
super
true,
easy
yeah.
opening lane.
In the 2v1, yeah.
So for me, all right, so looking kind of, let's look directly at G2's T side here. You go back a couple of games in the Pro League, kind of, I think it was around Barcelona time, they came up with that really brilliant kind of play towards B that everyone was, you know, hailing, going, oh, this is awesome. It completely outdid Astralis. They couldn't deal with it. They switched up several pieces to try and keep it in check, but Scream taking almost the entry role, which
Like
was a bit
4
weird.
rounds running
he
as
just
well,
pile in, nail the job down. And they did a lot of set plays, which everyone was going, wow, okay, this is G2 looking really, really sick. But they didn't seem to go to that at all. They seemed to kind of shy away from the set plays. Of course, RPK heading over towards B was, you know,
Clearly a set play.
clearly, just, you know, wrote down in a little book, RPK wreck.
Yeah.
Underline a couple of times. But no, it was a little bit lackluster. I think both T sides looked a little bit lackluster, which is weird though, because one, Envy historically had this really nice presence on T side that I remember Sean Garris was going on about during the Pro League finals when we were up in NA. Is that they have the really nice slow pace to it every now and then. They actually take their time on the rounds, the great anti-eco plays. They come up with the mollies towards B, quite similar almost to how the smokes get put down, ironically, by G2. So normally a really nice matchup between these two, and it was close, but I still feel it's just a little bit underwhelming on the T side.
Yeah, it almost felt like because they won it so easily, like you said, it should have been probably a 13-2, maybe even 14-1, if without the screen crash, etc. That it just seemed that they were like, we're just forced again, just keep forcing again. We only need like a couple of rounds. It's just one of those moments, and then suddenly like, wait, guys, they've got like 11 rounds. We should probably finish this game.
Yeah.
Which actually was a quasi buy in the first place.
Yeah,
and even said it's like, why is Shox not
quasi-buys,
picking up the Tech9? He stuck with the P250.
Yeah, give it to
Got 29 kills in that game, no, did all right.
Yeah.
But solid stuff, no doubt about it. So, you guys at home, don't forget to check out the Score Esports app to check out the score stats and articles, etc. that can come up there, and we'll find out what the hot match of the week is this week as well. Keep your eye on that one. You can get it on Google Play or iOS. And anyway, next map will be, I'm going to have to look at my notes because I forgot, it's Train. Train coming up. We'll see how that one works out between G2 and Envy.
G2A.com, the best video game store ever! Fast as lightning, solid as a rock, cheap as duck! What's more, you can sell on it because it's also a marketplace. Remember G2A.com, the best video game store ever!
Are you ready?
As well, and he could very well drop the bomb. Does stuff that, and he gets the second kill as well. Get right, putting it back into this round.
Oh my goodness, the energy in here is electric!
The bomb plant not quite going down. Oh my god!
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, TheScoreEsports.com, G2A, NVIDIA, and ESEA.
Struggle, and now I mean on train it's going to be even more difficult. They're going to have their smokes lined up. You know, you have all the coordinated executions onto the bomb sites. The new member that becomes increasingly difficult. So that is the question: is are they going to be able to find any of that success early on, because they can't get out to such a slow start again. That was just way too insurmountable for them into the second half.
Maybe it's that old Envy curse, right? You know, they're always weaker on the first map of the day. See, I'm on to them. Took a little bit for them to warm up.
So we've moved. It's no longer like early morning matches. It's now just the first map overall.
First map overall, right? A little bit slow to start. Started to feel things out a little bit on their CT side of Cash. Now they get to go into the T side again here. And they're going to start hitting shots, I'm telling you. All right, well, regardless, let's actually see how things break down. Can't really see anything due to the mini-map being bugged out. I don't know if that's actually going live onto the feed, but you guys get the general idea, right? This is testing your CS knowledge.
Yeah,
of
you
the
guys
map
got
layout.
you guys got A and B. That's all that we should really need. RPK is going to get smoked off. That's at range, but no one from Envy is really approaching behind this until just now, a little bit delayed, waiting for those shots to rain through. Now we see the flashbangs from NBK raining out from T-Choke. That's towards the bomb site. But there's the first two kills go the way of RPK. He's not covered off whatsoever, not blind. A third kill. What control from RPK. And he's pretty much just annihilated this attack. He could even go for a fourth. He's going to keep fighting here. Why not? He's got his fourth. He can go for the ace. Are they going to give him a chance to get it, though, is the question.
You have to. You have to. You do not pull a Fox. You let RPK try to go to work, and then you go in with Scream there to clean things up at the end. But, yeah, if somebody had robbed him, no. Just unacceptable. You are not allowed to do that to RPK.
Yeah, that's a crime. We saw it. Yeah, we did see it with Fox yesterday. That was so cruel.
That was so bad of Fox to take that away from Michaelele.
So bad-mannered.
Seriously, what the hell, man? If I was his teammate, I'd have been pissed. I'd have been salty. I'd have been like, what are you doing, bro? We won the round anyways. Even if I die, it doesn't matter. It's B-site retake, 1vx. Like, all right, enough of that, though. Let's figure out how things are going to play out here, because that was a perfect pistol run as far as G2 are concerned, and they should definitely have the edge here, have the advantage over Envy. Long-range shots coming in from RPK, who's got that M4. Spitz trying to help him out, but RPK keeps getting in the way. Still, it doesn't seem to matter when RPK is just hitting all the shots.
Yeah, and this is, I mean, aggression again from G2. RPK again. Okay, so he's starting out. He's already warmed up, you can tell. He's starting this out really, really good. And once again, this is just G2. It's the second round. I mean, you assume there's going to be a force up into it. but G2 still just unwilling to give any inch over to Envy on these maps.
I'm just really wondering where this change of form has come from with RPK. Like, he's just come alive over the past couple months. I don't know. Is it like more DM, just feeling more comfortable with the team since the roster changed? They've actually had some time to work with Shoxy and Smiths. I mean, could be any number of things, but whatever it is, keep doing it, because RPK, man, he's just hitting shots everywhere. They took out Scream, but it's NBK pinned down behind Electric, looking for the shot, and he knows now that he's kind of caught in a hard, yeah, exactly, between a rock and a hard place. Whichever way he looks, he's going to get shot in the back. So another solid round coming out there for G2.
Yeah, really good looking off the back of those ranged RPK kills again.
RPK
7 kills.
Pick up a kit.
7
Buy a kit. RPK. Buy the kit.
Just, you know.
You can.
At least Smith.
There we go, buddy.
Yeah.
See? Learned his lesson. If you have $3,000, you have no excuse to not get a kit.
He learned Smith's lesson.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And you know, you would think after Pasha, you know, no pro would ever make that mistake again, but no. They got to keep making life interesting for us, Moses.
Why not? Keep us on our toes. Either way, now 3 SMGs on the board for G2. No armor invested in the Team Envy side. Actually, they only have an upgraded. They only have one upgraded pistol. No, actually, they all do.
I think Shoxy's just like, he probably hasn't even seen anybody yet playing over on the B side right now. He's just like, come on, man, let me at him. Trying to get in their face with that MP9 right now, trying to find a kill, because he hasn't really seen too much. It's been RPK getting all the fun over on that A site. And is Smith's actually staying on the ladder? Yeah, he is.
It's actually pretty crazy how Envy is playing these eco rounds, these save rounds, so slow and cautious. They don't have nades for any kind of an execute, just hoping and relying that maybe catch off some aggression with these P250. Okay, well, that works.
Well, there you go, right?
Yeah.
NBK, now he's got an MP7. He can go toe-to-toe with Shoxy if he wants, but Scream is here already, having rotated over 2 and 2. He even spots the man on lower ramp as well. That's happy.
But the real play is going to be the outer bomb site. 3 members of Envy are waiting there with the bomb, and Shock still hasn't had a chance to get into the action, and now comes the hit towards the outer bomb train. There's long-range shot by Apex. RPK again is going to be tested, gets that kill, taps away. A couple more to deal with.
Man on the site, that's going to get denied. Scream just YOLOs in. He gets headshot in the meantime, but RPK's there to save the day. RPK going to walk right into Happy, though, and they're low on G2's side. Finally, the shot comes through, and now Happy actually has a rifle to work with, but only 6 seconds left, and Shox has to know that there's just not enough time for him to get the job done. Gets the kill in the end. Should be able to save the M4, yes, just in the nick of time.
And a flashbang.
But that was such an expensive round for G2. Got way too close.
Yeah, and that's what's so confusing about it. Only P250s, no nades to speak of whatsoever, just Envy swinging out, winning those duels. That shot by Apex was real nasty at long range.
Hard to do that with the P250 as well.
Yeah, well, and the thing is that one kill opens things up. He was playing at Bomb Train, so all of a sudden there's so many avenues for Envy to get aggressive down these lanes and get in the face of G2. Worked perfectly.
Okay. And while Envy, they don't push towards Alley this time around. Instead, presence in main. And actually, I mean, this is about as passive as you can get. They're like, okay, G2, Cash, you guys played ultra aggressive. Now let's wait and see if you do it again. And they're so far back. I mean, right now that's Devil who's sitting all the way back near T-spawn, babysitting the bomb, making sure that they don't push an alley. But he doesn't have an AK, he has a Galil, so really not the best weapon to have in this situation.
No, he's just going to spot something, and Shock's getting clever. Looking over the edge of the smoke, the top edge of the smoke. And now Devil kind of gives away. He's like, all right, didn't see anyone push, and if they are, they're not super aggressive, so he can fall away. Looks like Envy getting ready to set up. There's going to have 3 members in this T-choke. Kenny, Apex, and Devil are all here. Happy's above ladder, but there's the opening kill. Finally, Smiths gets a little bit more aggressive down Ivy. He finds that kill onto NBK, but RPK is still there.
Oh,
and
no.
Existence is peeking out right at the perfect time, and this has worked out so well for G2. It's a slaughter.
Oh, wow, Existence. And one after another, they just walk right into it. It was like getting run over by a Zamboni. Took its time. Took a while. You seen Austin Powers, you know?
Yeah.
There you go, man. Not a Zamboni there. It was like a steamroller, but still.
Yeah.
Slowest, most agonizing death ever.
That would be the worst way to go.
That would be a pretty horrible way to go, yeah. Yeah, no, just kind of like playing that over my head right now.
I know, I have too. It's bad.
Because first it would be like the toes, then
The kneecaps. I think the shins would be pretty bad.
Kneecaps, yeah, the shins would be pretty bad. And then you start getting into all the internal organ. No.
So this time, at least in this save round for Envy, they have bought up. Not even a save round, it's force buy a little bit. Investment into this round. Shox is blind, throws out that nade, but now he's getting swarmed. He's got to be very careful of Sidewalk, and he just falls so quickly. And the information isn't getting quick enough for him to adjust. And look at the nades on Scream as well, down to 7. Envy making a bid for this one right now. Existence trying to recover, not able to do it completely. But here comes RPK.
Yeah, and RPK, man, he's just like the wrecking ball. Goes crashing in there. 2 kills for him. Scream now just going to be watching his back, perhaps. Has to watch Link, but he's stepping all over the place. He's making so much noise. And Happy now knows he has information to go off of. He knows that somebody's holding close. Flashes in. Scream, is he actually going to be that thorough? Yes, he will. Nicely done on his part, but still, this leaves it up to RPK now, and Happy actually has a rifle to work with. Gets him off that bomb. RPK, awkward, really awkward, but no idea why Scream is stepping so much, making so much noise.
Yeah, perfect flank from Happy. That's the danger. I mean, that's also the thing. Shox just gets caught by a flashbang. The timing of it when he just peers right into it, completely blind, doesn't even know how aggressive they're being. No time to call a rotate over either. He was so isolated. He fell really, really quickly. Either way, G2 not willing to give up the advantage they have just yet. They buy right back into this. Plenty of nades to work with. Existence is stuck on a 5-7, but Smiths has that AWP.
A little bit of the HE there, but Devil's changed up his position. Now he's the one holding in Brown Halls. Interesting, because that can be a little bit more of an aggressive spot, and they aren't wasting much time here. It does look like Envy, they might want to apply the pressure a little bit faster. Exactly, push out through A main, right onto Existence, who's got the 5-7. Not ideal for him, and he will not get a headshot. Kenny's going to overrun him. Nice timing for Scream to come right through, though, but he's going to get retraded on by Happy, and this is exactly what you have to have happen here for Envy, right? They need to be aggressive and they need to be efficient about it. Constantly maintaining that man advantage is going to be so important. But then Shoxy manages to pick up 1 kill for free. And Kenny, he's just got to wonder, like, what happened to my teammate?
Where'd this guy go? Still searching for him. Shox, he's got NBK so low. Not able to finish it off, though. NBK returns the favor. And Happy gets the last one. So all their 3 remaining Envy members grab 1 kill. Gives them their second round. They stock 2 together. Now they can build up some money. They're going to force a save out of G2. All off the back of that 1 eco, that 1 force buy.
Yeah, just a little bit awkward. That's going to rattle G2 as well now. They're going to be feeling a little shaky. RPK, I mean, he's at 11 kills. He's doing a lot of the work, but, you know, the guy needs some help. He can't do it all himself. So, I mean, now Envy not showing any respect whatsoever. Nice headshot. I mean, at least Existence is doing some damage. He does manage to pick off, or at least help Smith to pick off Devil. But then the rifles are coming into play, and long range should always win. Sick play from Kenny.
Sit down.
Okay. That was so fast. And, you know, it was so fast and brutal that it just broke the replay system there.
And apparently Rush.
Yeah. And apparently
oh,
everything.
We're back on Cash now.
Hey, Cash.
What's going on?
It just broke everything. There you go. The system couldn't handle Kenny.
Was one pretty cool detail. Actually, we can get into that later if I catch it again. RPK is going to have some pressure put on him. He has it deep smoked over towards Ivy. And there it is. There's an edge around that. Envy finds it. RPK's got to play a little bit more passively. But look at the nades that G2 has. 1 smoke just gets deployed. They have 1 smoke left and 1 flashbang. 1 minute and 20 seconds left in the round. Envy's going to have so many options available to them. And all of their hits, they're not going to be hindered by counter flashes whatsoever. Now all smokes are gone over 15. Although Shox gets brought so low, somehow manages to get away with 4 HP.
Still, that was very well done, right? I mean, if an incendiary finds him, eventually he'll die flat out, but he at least starts off strong. Existence has no idea that somebody's below him, though. He's going to get shot in the back. Apex should get traded immediately. And it will be RPK to get the kill, but it was a little sloppy. He takes some damage in the meantime, and we're back into a 3-on-3 somehow. There's the flash. There's the kill. And again, efficient trades coming out here from Envy, maintaining the pressure on G2. And they've got that B bomb site now under control. As Happy has lurked his way out there.
Yeah, Shox is somewhere. They've got to know that, but he's so low that he can't be aggressive with it. It's all going to be timing for Shox here, and Happy seems to have a good read on where he's at, but they might just pass each other on this train. Oh, Happy hears the footsteps, so he pauses now.
That's not going to be good enough. Because that bomb is not going to be able to get out onto the site. No problem at all here. did they misread the situation? It seems like it. They decide to stack up and they go onto the A side instead of the B side, and that's really not going to help here for G2.
I think that low HP on Shox is just like in their head. They're like, all right, we have to take a gamble. Let's stick together because you're going to be no good alone. But I mean, the sacrifice they make is to give Happy the Notorious Lurker. Perfect position. Free kill there. Going to turn around. He didn't spot Scream, but now he sees him. Now it's the spray down, but Scream's going to win that out. Kenny there for the trade. So it does come down to just Kenny, but G2 falls again on another gun round, and now one more time they have no real money to invest into this.
They're coming alive here. They really are. Envy. 4 rounds in a row as well. I mean, they're just blasting through the G2 defense, and now this is that nightmare situation for G2 where they just never have enough money to go for the full buy to have all the nades. Like we saw how quickly they lost all their nades in that last round.
They'll have it in the next one just because the losing bonus is building up. But yeah, this is yeah, that last buy was very, very weak of them. They almost won it out, obviously, but I mean, such a tough round to win on Train when you don't have any smokes and you don't have any of those flashbangs for it. So now it's just going to be picking Apex. He knows he's got one isolated behind the E-Box. Nade comes out, not perfect, and actually still damage is doing done. Existence actually forces Apex back.
Existence just refuses to die, actually. They just can't kill this guy. All right, and that's opening it up here for Smiths to get clever. He can start pushing forward. He might be able to find somebody, but I think that they spotted him. Yeah, Smiths, nothing, not achieving anything there. But Scream will be able to find the headshot on Apex, and it's going to be a very just, cruel, ruthless kind of push going up onto this A side. Shoxy through the smoke will get a bit of a spray down there with the 5-7, but Kenny is able to take out RPK. Existence lying in wait up, and Sniper just fluffs it.
No way, Shox. He's got, oh my lord, NBK saves it.
1 HP on NBK.
They lined up for him so perfectly. Okay, so now they bring out the big guns. Smiths has had enough. The auto sniper is out. Although still, I mean, you're going up to an op on Kenny, so obviously the op, wins that duel in terms of, you only have to hit him once. But if Smiths can find the rest of his teammates as they push down these narrow lanes and through some smokes even, I mean, we've seen the damage this gun can do on Train.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of curious. I mean, I think it's Flamey who really is like the big, fan of the Scar 20 these days. But Smith, he can go for it every now and again. I just never really seen like a huge round out of him with it. So let's see. I mean, if he's going to be getting effective with the hold. I mean, basically, you could just sit back on upper and hope for a B hit eventually. I think that might be the play for him because he is at the back of the B site for now. Envy, however, it's going to be Kenny S picking up that bomb. Devil's starting to make his way through Brown Halls. They're clearing out Brown Halls now, Envy, so they're getting that map control. And now this kind of makes it so that they have options. They can go B, they can go A. This is where they're comfortable now, Envy.
Yeah, and also with Smiths being pretty much committed to this inner bomb site at the moment, Shox is there as well. Thins out the defense a little bit at this outer train yard. And Existence is feeling comfortable on top of this first train. Shox is even getting a little bit aggressive, trying to find some information, and now he's got a perfect spot. So this allows Smiths to rotate away. Shox is going to continue pushing, supremely confident in his abilities. Molotov comes out, and the hit is on.
Yeah, that's just the push out. Scream has got a nice angle up in connector, but Apex is there for the initial kill. He's just, lining them up. He picks up one more. Apex, though, double headshot entry kills for him going on to the A site. Scream, however, is still finally going to be able to do something about this. Shoxy with the flank through Pop Dog, catches Happy looking the wrong way, and it's all on NBK now. Picks up the first kill, knows where the second one is coming from. Shoxy decides to face him. And with 20 seconds left, it's all about finding RPK. And little does NBK know he was at his back for a second there, Moses. I almost believed.
Then the jumping 360 turnaround.
How sick would that have been?
Oh, almost makes it. It actually looks like he had the read because, I mean, he turns. I don't know if he knew it was RPK immediately, but like he turns towards Ivy, which is where RPK's been playing. So he spins that way, but doesn't see anything, turns around. Really nicely done. And now 5 on 5, or 5 to 5 in the scoreline, and Kenny's going to get aggressive into the choke point, but that's what these nades are for. Look at that. Flashbangs, nades right out in the connector, Molotov as well, just forces Kenny away. He's taken so much free damage, essentially, and now Happy trying to lurk around the smoke. Oh, my lord, he could catch Scream off guard. This is going to be scary. Is he expecting Existence to be to the right? He's not. Free kill for Existence. Timing doesn't work out in Happy's favor.
And Existence is so pleased with that. He's like, yes. Bait, hook, line, and sinker. It's all good. Thank you, Scream. NBK, though, catches Smiths with a nade in his hand. Scream is there for another spray down, and he just keeps lining them up. He gets 3, and then 4 with 1 clip with 18 bullets on the M4A1. That is not easy to do. That
screen.
is some sick control.
That was so nice. What a recovery as well, because Smith gets caught with a nade out. Yeah, look at this. Why not?
That was really cool to see. That's the kind of aim, though. That's where Scream excels. You know, if you get into those long-range fights with him, he's got such incredible aim.
Yeah, just those quick, like, shoulder taps. Just like the little jiggle fire.
So it's all about. And that actually manages to break EnVyUs's economy. So after this long streak, Envy, they're back onto pistols now, and it's G2's opportunity to really build some bank.
We've seen the damage they can do. This is this same exact buy they had earlier in the half is what got it down to a one-on-one situation that Shox went out with a really nice lurk, but it did the damage. It's what allowed them, you know, a round or two later to break the economy fully of G2. So if they can replicate that kind of success, now it's going to be. I mean, there's Scar 20's out of play at least. No AWP as well. The Molotov actually forces Devil back, and that was a little bit of a mouse freak out.
Yeah, that was awkward. RPK, he had a bit of an opportunity there to take out Devil.
Glad good thing it happens now though, versus you know, if you're actually facing in a battle.
Oh, nice nade onto Apex. Bit of the touchdown moment there. And yeah, RPK is just gonna go ahead and have a field day. He catches MBK. Existence is there for Apex up close. Existence just continues to spray and picks up a second kill. And a perfect anti-eco. Exactly what G2 wanted. Exactly what the doctor ordered. Now they're going to be feeling much more comfortable with all that money backing them. Full nades across the board. Kits, helmets, Kevlar. Whole kit and caboodle. Perfect here for G2 now to just stomp Envy out of the rest of this half.
What's really impressive for Envy, though, is they get those 5 rounds. They didn't win the pistol. Those were 5 gun rounds that they were able to win. So that's huge for them. And if they can add 1 or 2 more into this, they're going to be sitting really pretty going into the CT side. Shox looked like he wanted to get aggressive, but not going to do it quite yet. Smiths is starting to rotate back just now. Okay. All right, Shox.
No, that's how he does it. Well, they've lost Existence. Existence changed up his position, actually. He played a bit more of a Kerrigan spot there, close to A main, so that was awkward. Scream is boosted back up here in Connector, but he's used this before. Apex spotted him out before, so...
And the key thing about that spot is you can get some kills from it, but the last time it happened, even with Scream getting a kill and dealing some massive damage to Kenny, it doesn't stem the tide of people pushing down the lanes towards RPK. There's still a lot of pressure able to be applied if you stream down towards Ivy instead as the Terror Squad.
Oh, this is all down to patience now on G2's side. So they still have Shox on that B side. He's called, he hasn't seen anybody. He's on the other side of the smoke as well, so he's giving clean info. 100% sure info here to G2, and that's why the defense is still so solid on this A site. Now it comes down to holding off the tide, and Kenny, he takes out RPK. That's everything falling apart. 3 big kills come here for Envy, and they actually just completely wipe out the defense, despite G2 having 3 players alive and well on that A site and set up. They just got railroaded.
Yeah, I mean, that's the power of the entries for the Envy side. I mean, you could see 1 kill just opens up the floodgate on the outer yard, and everyone continues to push forward. Even Happy stuck behind a Molotov, just holding an angle, finding a way to have an impact by making sure that no one can push up towards E-Box on the G2 side. See, someone tried to do it, but they get taken out, and there's Devil just biding his time patiently. Shox peeks right into it. Flawless round for Envy. Nobody falls, so that's their 6th. Now, there was enough money on the G2 side they can rebuy into this one. But again, if they lose it, and going into the last round of this half, they're going to have absolutely nothing. At least Smiths does have an AWP. That's the one big impact weapon. And they have that advantage because Kenny doesn't have one of his own. So he's going to be able to have rain. He doesn't have to worry about anyone holding his angle with an AWP to re-peek into. And this looks like it's going to be a fast execution. This is what I wanted to talk about before, was Devil has been just running across box halls, gaining that control, but G2 has a good read on this round. Shox is going to be the only man. He's out in the open, nowhere to fall back to. Even if he gets 1 kill, he's dead after. Good trade by Scream. They line up for him for a second, but he can't get anything done. Molotov comes out to slow down this plant, and RPK still doing work. They're so low on the Envy side inside this bomb site, and the bomb is still not down. This has worked out beautifully for G2.
2 on 2, and now Existence, he's literally going to get the drop on NBK. Ugly situation there, and it's down to Happy now. Gives away his position by taking shots at RPK, and now they know exactly what's up here at G2. Now it's all about just playing patient, watching each other's backs, and not allowing Happy to get that series of duels. That's all he's looking for right now. He wants 1v1s. So if he faces one, he needs to instantly get caught by the other. And yeah, they're trying to take advantage of that high ground, but there we go. Chance here for Happy to find the headshot on Existence. He's closing that angle, trying to open it perhaps, but Existence will land the shot in the end. Perfect situation there for G2 to just take control of. 100 HP on both players at the end of it.
Yeah, really nice rotations on the way in because Shox fell so quick. Scream was there like lightning, like blisteringly fast. And he really bailed him out by just getting that trade kill, not allowing Envy to kind of push forward in those train lanes and slow down rotations anymore. So G2 do win it out. Last round of the half now. Kenny has the AWP. It's Glass Cannon, 4 rifles. Shox is stuck on a 5-7, so this should cause for rotation back towards the inner bomb site pretty early, as well as all this running. Shox hears all of this, drops the Molotov, but they're going to stream out the upper ramp.
They might be able to catch him out. Smith is there in time, though. Big spray from him with the help of Shoxy. And Shox will find that headshot eventually. This time he does not die. He takes out Kenny immediately. And then Happy on the flank is going to get caught out by Existence. So 9-6 the final score at the half. But that was a very nice hold by Shoxy. Holding so close to the wall, you're right. I mean, he's just hearing those footsteps go tramping past on the wood up in Brown Halls. Just allows him to get into position and call for that retake.
It also might be a bit of an adjustment from G2, knowing that Envy rushed it last time, found a relatively easy entrance into the bomb site coming down lower ramp. Maybe just a second or two quicker on that rotate back towards the inner bomb site, saying, okay, they had an easy time of kind of getting in. They might try and exploit it again. Let's just get back a little bit quicker. And that's not a team decision. That's the individual. That's the rotator's decision to kind of be like, all right, this time I'm going to go back just a little bit earlier, just in case, just to be careful for it.
Boom.
Wrecked.
Yeah. It's just, it can be so fun to watch. It can be fun, so it can be fun, so it can be so fun. Yeah, just a little bit of a hiccup there for Envy. They came so close to having that perfect sort of half, similar to what we saw in Cash, but they just weren't able to stabilize versus G2. G2, well, I mean, Envy hit their stride basically for 6 rounds. Now it's going to be down to the pistol, and well, we saw what Envy were capable of once they got onto that CT side on Cash. They made life difficult for G2. So if they pick up this pistol here, Envy, they'll be tying up the situation at 9-9, and then it gets really interesting. So let's see, what does Happy go for? He still hasn't bought, he still doesn't spend any money. Happy, what did he do? He didn't do anything. What does this mean? I don't know what to make of this, Moses.
Maybe like he uses binds and he thought he hit him and like they just didn't register or something, or maybe he's gonna reinvent how we play pistol rounds and he's gonna use that extra $800 for something.
Did he literally cool. just realize there? He's like, wait a second, I don't actually have anything. Wanted to go back to CT and realize it just wasn't enough time.
That's awkward.
That's really frustrating. I hope that doesn't tilt him too much because yeah, he doesn't even have like the benefit of nades, you know, because like, okay, fair enough, he doesn't have Kevlar, but he doesn't have a kit, he doesn't have nades, he doesn't have anything really to bring to the party apart from the USP.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to tilt him if they lose this. If they win it, it won't matter, obviously. But if they lose this and it's not even his fault, it's still going to tilt him, and that's not a good start. NBK falls. RPK with that opening kill. There's Kenny, has the angle, but now he's got to follow away completely blind, and he's got backup. Oh, there's Apex. Another jumping shot, and Kenny chimes in with one more. Apex still doing work. Triple kill for him, and he holds strong and Happy. Even no armor, just bullies himself out towards E-Box. Gets that kill out of Shox.
What's with Envy and hitting jumping headshots?
Yeah, on CT Pistols.
Like, what is that? MBK did it on Cash. Now Kenny got a chance at it. This was sick by Kenny as well. He gets flash, he falls back, he doesn't hang around. And then Apex is there, perfect position to support. Now, this actually turned out to be the perfect situation. G2, they ran into the worst spot possible.
Yep.
Like that.